Patriots preseason football is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota, the official vehicle of the Patriots, and Toyota's official website for deals. BuyAToyota.com.
Summer-like weather continues here in the New England region. 78 degrees, very humid. Some clouds out there as well as we get ready for the preseason finale between the Patriots and the New York Giants. Let's get out of the field where three-time Super Bowl winning special teams guru Matt Chatham is standing by, one-time roommate of Tom Brady, standing by with some thoughts on number 12. Matt?
Guys, it's easy to conclude from this situation of the return of Tom Brady that, you get your quarterback back. You get your guy that's the rudder of the team. But I think it's more than that, and I think the guys in the locker room perceive it as more than that. You have your leader back, a leader that this team looks to, that this organization looks to, that this community looks to. People look to Tom to see how he's going to respond, and the consistency he's shown throughout this situation is something that Christian and I have witnessed over the years. There's been dark times even when we've won those championships, but to have that rudder be even-keeled throughout, that's what you get from Tom Brady, and that's what you got from Tom Brady in this Deflategate situation. He knocked it out of the park. He stayed consistent. He stayed true to himself. His teammates respect that quite a lot.
Chris Boswell will do the kicking tonight for the Giants. The kickoff, James White, as well as Robert McLean back in the kickoff formation. McLean basically replacing James Devlin, who unfortunately broke a leg last week. But Christian, as we get ready here for the kick, all the conversation, all the buzz, all the energy here tonight was about Tom Brady.
Yeah, and it should be. I mean, what have we been talking about since the Super Bowl? Well, Malcolm Butler for one, the great win. But more importantly, we've been talking about Deflategate. So the fact that it's over and done with for now, I think everyone is happy. And look at it, it's the fourth preseason game. There's a lot of people here. People are excited. People are happy. I must give it at least 10 high fives walking up here. I know you didn't get any because nobody likes you, but that's just the way it is.
It's going to be that kind of night.
I'm starting off early, Rochi.
Takes the helm for the Patriots.
I'm kidding, though, Roach. Everybody loves him.
His first game since playing for the Arizona Cardinals in the playoffs last year against Carolina. He's got a lot to prove. His first attempt sails just short of the veteran Reggie Wayne. It's time now to take a look at the Patriots offense, brought to you by Gillette One Pro Glide Refill. Up to 1 month of comfortable shaves. Take a look at your starting lineup. Name you see right there who's out for the first game suspension is LeGarrette Blount, and a lot of guys fighting for jobs.
Yeah, well, Shaq Mason and Trey Jackson getting another start, but Ryan Wendell playing center, haven't seen much of him during camp. He needs more reps. He's been out for a while, so he needs to get a nice lather going tonight before the regular season.
First and 10 of the 20. LeGarrette Blount gets swarmed by the Giants defense and loses 5 on the play. Kerry Wynn on the stop. Take a look at the Giants defense. So they come in with a lot of question marks, Christian, particularly in that secondary where they've been really banged up.
Yeah, most banged up team in the last 3 years, so they've been nursing some injuries, but camp is over now. A lot of these guys are sitting out and trying to get healthy before that first game.
Third down and 15. Patriots on offense. Pass over the head. Incomplete. Intended for Reggie Wayne. And we've got our first punt of the night, and that'll be Ryan Allen coming out to do the duties. Jaron Hosley back for the Giants. There's the boot from Allen. High and deep. Hosley takes it at the 29. A little bit of room, gets banged now and doesn't get to the 40-yard line, and the Giants will come out on offense. And now let's go to our Bob's Discount Studio, Furniture Studio, where we're joined by Andy Hart, Paul Perillo, Patriots Pro Football Weekly. Gentlemen, just your thoughts on Tom Brady being free.
Well, obviously it's all about Tom Brady tonight, but it's not just about the team, and I think it's about the whole region. You look at the community and the people that have been chanting Free Brady or wearing the T-shirts. It's like a weight has been lifted all of a sudden, and now you can focus on defending the title and actually thinking about, you know what? we're the damn Super Bowl champions, and we're starting a season. We're trying to defend that title, and we're the last team that did that under Bill Belichick. So let's go.
Look at all the signs in the stands, too. You know, more than one person mentioned that you could finally celebrate the Super Bowl victory, 8 months later. So a lot of excitement, a lot of enthusiasm. I already am looking forward to next Thursday when you're going to get an unbelievable ovation for when Tom Brady takes the field against the Steelers. This was obviously what everybody was hoping for, what everybody was waiting for, and we finally got it now.
Well, it's interesting, Christian, as Andre Williams, former BC product, carried the ball for a couple of yards for the Giants. So we'll have a 2nd and 8 with Ryan Nassib, the former Syracuse quarterback, in at the helm for New York. It's going to be Williams again. He gets swarmed. He gets back. Let's take a look at the Patriots defense as we get started here tonight. Some key names there. We bring in Matt Chatham, and Matt, so, Rufus Johnson, a name that sticks out as far as guys that may be fighting here. James Morris, Logan Ryan, Nate Ebner. A lot of, again, we talked to Bill Belichick this morning, or this afternoon rather, and he said, yes, guys can win or lose jobs here tonight.
Yeah, I think that's fair, Roach. Yeah, and there are a lot of guys that have similar body types, similar skill sets. Rufus Johnson, Xavier Dixon, some of these edge players that have a chance tonight to go after a young offensive tackle that the Giants throw out there and just simply show what you can do.
Dwayne Harris with their catch. Logan Ryan on the coverage. It'll be a first down for the Giants.
It's funny, this game is starting basically the same way every single game the Patriots have played. 3 and out right off the bat. Offense comes out of the opposing team. They start moving the ball downfield. The first down for the New York Giants.
Shane Vereen, old friend, the New York Giants. And here's your Giants offense. As, we know Larry Donnell, certainly a pass-catching tight end. You can see him do a lot of damage. Ruben Randall, the fine wide receiver. Rashad Jennings out there, too. Part of that running back core. And there he is. As we mentioned, familiar face to Patriots fans. Old friend Shane Vereen, so highly thought of here in New England on and off the field. His massive throws, his pass complete to Ruben Randall. But you look at Shane Vereen, I mean, everybody raves at just about what he meant to this team way beyond the numbers.
Yeah, well, look at his numbers. 11 catches in the Super Bowl, 4 carries, 64 yards. Now, what I would like him to do is I would like him to go find James White. I would like him to go find Dion Lewis. And, hey, here's what you should do if you want to be successful in this third down back situation, because he didn't figure it out right away. Fought some injuries, fought with consistency, but last year he really figured it out, and he came up big, especially in the biggest game of the year.
1st and 10 for the Giants on the Patriot 40-yard line. Nassib back to pass pressure now. Throws, and it's complete. We get a flag down on the play. Dwayne Harris on the reception. See if we can get the call from Pete Morelli, our referee tonight.
Foul, grabbing the face mask, number 76. Offense, 15-yard penalty, still first down.
Eric Flowers with a hold.
Yeah, that's a first-round pick, Eric Flowers, out of the University of Miami with the hold. Here's Rufus Johnson right here. I mean, listen, it's incidental, but that's enough. That's all you need. And then he grabs it, and then Rufus Johnson getting around him quick. Nice first step by Eric Flowers, really challenging. A nice first step by Rufus Johnson, challenging Eric Flowers. Now, when you're looking at matchups in the preseason, 4th preseason game, it's all about one-on-one matchups. You're not going to get a bunch of crazy schemes. They're not going to really tax you mentally. So how can you show up on film? Well, you're going against the number 1 pick, Eric Flowers. Show up every down. Show that you're consistent. Show that your motor never stops.
1st and 25 now. Andre Williams gets nowhere. Good pressure by the Patriots defense. Eric Martin in on the stop. You got the big guys in the middle, Christian. You'll see during the regular season, Alan Branch and Malcolm Brown.
Yeah, Malcolm Brown, Alan Branch. Malcolm Brown just needs more reps. He just needs more reps. He needs to stay in there. Bunch of different looks, bunch of different situations. He's got all the tools, and a lot of people compare him to Vince Wilfork. And as far as body type, yes, I can see that easily. As long as Malcolm Brown's not going to walk around with overalls with no shirt. Did you happen to see that, by the way?
I did.
Hard Knocks. All he needs is maybe a toothpick, maybe a pitchfork, shoveling some hay, maybe.
Robert McClain in on the coverage. I can't picture. Maybe Chatham would walk around in those in the Patriots locker room, but I certainly couldn't picture.
I actually remember Chatham doing that.
This is a shot directly at Iowa and South Dakota. Is that what that was, guys? The jorts, the coverall jorts? I didn't pull it off. I don't mind trying.
You tried.
I did try.
3rd down and 19 now for the Giants at the 49-yard line. Nassib with time. Now he's pressured. Breaks free. And it is incomplete. Just out of bounds. Dak Swanson on the coverage. Intended for Preston Parker. Good pressure by the Pats D.
Watch Rufus Johnson. There he is right behind the ref. He just keeps fighting. He gets chipped. Realizes it's a scramble situation. He's just going to keep fighting. Forces him to get outside. And Trey Flowers also to the bottom of your screen. Watch a rip and pull right there by Trey Flowers.
One thing you notice, Christian, is the arm length, the size that Trey Flowers has, the wingspan.
Yeah, all these guys have just a really unique skill set. And when it comes to their size and their speed, and Rufus Johnson almost with a punt block right there.
Steve Weatherford with a punt. The Giants get it inside the Patriots' 10-yard line, where Ryan Lindley and the offense will start 1st and 10 here in the first quarter. It's got a beautiful night here in New England as we approach fall. The Patriots opener a week from tonight. Tom Brady will be at the helm. Well, take a look at the live scene here at Gillette Stadium. Tom Brady, a video being flashed on the scoreboard as we speak. We've been given word that Tom Brady is not here tonight, as the video finishes with a shot of Brady holding up the Super Bowl 49 trophy. He was here earlier, worked out with the first-team offense, and he, and along with a couple of other players, were sent home by the coaching staff to rest and begin preparation for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Brian Stork, Brandon LaFell amongst those also going, as Brady and company get ready. LeGarrette Blount with the carry, and you know Tom Brady. Rest, watching a ton of film, and practice Saturday. Bill Belichick spoke with us earlier this evening, Christian, and he said he was focused on Saturday's practice. So important as they get ready in that short week for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he's had a lot of reps, and he's been doing a lot of travel. I'm sure, he probably didn't want to leave, but I guess I'm sure it's a little hectic here, and there was a lot of tension. How many TV trucks did he see outside? It's best for him to just go home, put his feet up, enjoy the telecast.
2nd and 7 for Lindley. Reggie Wayne on the reception. Tom, if you're home, we're happy you're free.
I saw Tom walking through the tunnel, right after he was working out, gave him a little nod saying, "What's up? How you doing?" Just a little grin. I think everybody was happy. Yeah, this thing is over with.
Did he call you the special nickname that he has for you?
What would that be, Rochi?
Is it Motoring?
Motoring.
Yeah.
Now, can you tell me what that's from, Rochi?
I think, like Ryan Lindley here, we'll see if someone can be Motoring. Oh, that was bad.
You added a G.
Oh, just incomplete. Intended for Reggie Wayne from Lindley, broken up by the Giants. Nice play by New York as Landon Collins got in just at the last minute on the attempt by Lindley.
Nice play action pass, buys himself a little bit of time, but a blitz comes, a linebacker comes free, and Lindley does a nice job avoiding him, throws the ball downfield, but the defensive back actually recovers and does a nice job sticking his hand in there and knocking that ball away.
Sorry, that was a Sister Christian reference.
Yes, Sister Christian.
Which I'm sure you've never heard at all throughout your lifetime.
I never really knew what it meant at first. What? Where did it go?
I like the effort by Brady. Got a ball that seems to be deflected, and the Patriots say they have it. We'll see who it touched and sort this one out. It looks like the Patriots are going to go right back on offense.
Looks like it touches his foot.
Like Mike Harris might have gotten in the way there.
Actually, they were going to check it, but yeah, because I actually think Logan Ryan actually touched it
they
first.
They call it Giants ball, so the Giants go back on offense when we return. Bill Belichick and his defense, we'll see if they can step up. Well, Bill Belichick has decided to throw the red flag, and there to accept it is Sarah Thomas, the line judge, who is here tonight as part of the crew. Sarah, first full-time female official in NFL history, as they will review as to did this touch a member of the Giants, and then the Patriots recover.
Now, it looked like it touched Logan Ryan, right? It bounces to the ground, hits him in his, oh, actually, you know what?
It's like Mike
there.
Harris.
Yeah, that's exactly who it hits. It doesn't hit the return man. It actually hits Harris right here as you back it up right. It bounces. Let it bounce and stop it right there. Hits his knee right there. Nice shot, guys.
So this should be Patriots ball.
Yeah, it should be Patriots ball. There it is again. Bam, hits him right in the knee. And Logan Ryan. So it doesn't hit the return man. Watch number 37. As in slow motion comes by, it hits the ground, hits him right in the knee. Then it actually hits Logan Ryan's left hand. Here's one more look at it. Here it is again. Here it comes. Yep, there it is right there.
This should be an easy one to overturn, but when that's the case, it usually
Yeah, I was going to say,
isn't.
you just jinxed them, Rochi. You just flat out just gave it away.
Well, there you go. We'll see if the Patriots can get a break here. And
Yeah, it would be.
here comes Peter Morelli with our decision.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. New York ball, first down.
Explanation there?
Okay.
No? I always wonder what they're seeing that we're not seeing.
Yeah.
Did you not see the ball hit his
Timeout
leg?
and challenge.
You know,
I mean, what'd they say in New York? What'd they say out there?
Dean Blandino up there. But Everett, here we go. It turns, and the Giants have the football 1st and 10 on their own 41-yard line midway through the first quarter. Glad to have you with us tonight. But there's a good feeling in the air here at Gillette Stadium as Tom Brady had a suspension vacated. Here's Ryan Nassib for the completion. And now we move to the roster here. It's time for some Gatorade Prime to Perform keys. Gatorade knows it all begins within for the Patriots. Win from within. Christian?
Well, you know, listen, build your resume. A lot of guys are playing for a job, and although they might not make this team, there's 31 other teams out there that are watching them and scouting them. Get out healthy. It's been a long preseason. It's been a long camp. Don't want to go into the regular season with any nicks and bumps.
2nd and 9. Massive throw below the feet of Fells. What does it mean, Christian, when you don't see a guy like Bradley Fletcher? You don't see some of those guys out here tonight on the team. Is it a good sign for those guys that aren't playing in this game?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you don't want to read into it too much. You don't want to be overly comfortable in your situation, but I would assume that if they're not practicing and if they're outside warming up and working out and getting a nice lather going, that they will be on this team.
3rd down and 9 for the Giants. Nassib with some time. Eludes pressure. Looks. Pressured by Ryan. Little basketball one-on-one, and Nassib goes out of bounds. We got a late flag on the play. Wait and see what that is, but good pressure by Eric Martin on that play for New England.
Yeah, if they get a late flag on this, this is just going to be one of those situations where you're just pulling your hair out because the play is dead. The play is over.
See what Pete Morelli has to say about this.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, late hit, number 97 defense, 15-yard penalty and automatic first down.
Well, yeah, good pressure, only rushing really 3 guys, but Martin does a great job of locking into his tackle and flushing Nassib out of the backfield. And basically this play is over. Here comes Logan Ryan. He's going to settle in and at least make the quarterback go out of bounds. But Alan Branch with a late hit gives the Giants a new set of downs and a little bit of confidence moving past the 50.
Oh, Bill and Matt Patricia can't be happy with that call against Branch, one of the veterans. Jennings with a carry for New York goes outside. Nicely brought down by McClain. It'll be 2nd down for the Giants.
You know, the one thing you talk about, you're looking for in your slot back, and your slot defensive back, Robert McClain just made that tackle, 5'9", 195 pounds, 5th year out of Connecticut. What Matt Patricia loves from McClain is he's not the biggest guy, but he plays physical. He plays bigger than his actual size, and his height and his weight would lead you to believe. And he is not afraid to stick his nose on there and make a tackle on a back that's much bigger and stronger than he is.
Nassib out of the shotgun on 2nd down, looking deep, just over the hands of Preston Parker, and it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, Rufus Johnson so far today has been having a great game. Here's Rufus Johnson. Take it away, Matt.
Down, makes a play. He's been clear each and every snap. Sorry, guys, Mike went out there a little bit, but real great solo here on Rufus Johnson. He's really been working over the first rounder. Great use of hands, good length, good motor, quite frankly, because this has been an extended drive. He keeps getting after it.
3rd and 8. Nassif steps up in the pocket, throws off the hands, incomplete to Larry Donnell, and we got a flag down on the play.
Holding. Number 37, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Rookie Jordan Richards with the violation. 5'11", 210-pound rookie out of Stanford, 2nd-round pick. He's had a pretty good camp, Christian.
Yeah, he has, but he's outmatched right here by Larry Donnell at 6'6", 265. But used to playing that physical role at Stanford, but he's going to be asked to cover and match up with, tight ends or running backs that are just physically bigger than him.
Giants ball 1st and 10 on the Patriots 35. Nassif rolls, throws, and it's complete. James Jones on the reception.
Now this is when you're starting to feel like this defense playing a good game. Sees their flag down.
Holding. Number 22, defense. The penalty will be declined. Result of the play is a first down.
Just praising McLean for his tackling ability and his sticking his head in there. And
Matt Chatham, when you look at this situation, how much of this is guys are giving everything they have here to make this roster? That's a fine line between that and, penalties.
Well, Christian touched on it earlier. I mean, they want to see very simplistic calls so that you can show ultimate effort and play very smart. You keep it simple so that the guys' techniques are not really an issue for them. Their responsibility is not really an issue for them. So they can just simply go out and perform. When you make mistakes in that environment, it is a bit of a red flag for the team.
Ball is incomplete to Andre Williams. Fleming on the coverage, so it'll be 3rd down. Make that 2nd and 10 for the Giants. Ball on the 19-yard line of New England. Time winding down here in this first quarter. It's going to be Andre Williams, former BC running back in his 2nd year for the Eagles. Gets near the 15-yard line where he's brought down to the play by Fleming. Jamie Morris. Look at Jamie Morris. He's an interesting guy on this roster here, Christian. Bill Belichick likes him a lot, loves the game of football, hard worker. Has he got that size? Is he big enough here to play in the NFL?
Well, he is a warrior in the weight room. He's got high energy. Went to a great school, went to Iowa, was coached well. He is a hard-nosed, blue-collar guy, and Coach mentioned it. He wished he had an entire team that had the same mentality that Morris has.
3rd and 6 is down at the feet and behind Rashad Jennings. Yeah, James Morris is a good football. A lot of good things.
He's a football
to like
player.
About. Yeah,
he's a football
we've
player.
Seen how much Bill loves that over the years.
Yeah, 6'2", 240. Not the biggest guy physically, but smart. So some guys who just aren't physically gifted, they make up with it with just being smarter and knowing where the ball is going to go, being able to react before the offensive line does, because they spend a lot of time in the film room and trying to really figure things out to get an edge, and that's what James Morris does.
Chris Boswell in to attempt a 34-yard field goal to try to give the Giants the first points of the night, and it's good. When we return, Lindley, the Patriots go back on offense. Pats down by 3. Little huddle of the defense after that drive by the Giants. Gets them 3 points in the field goal. The Patriots will go back on offense here, but again, talking it up here, guys, get on the same page here. Do your job, which we now know is
love that. That is it.
Familiar saying.
But here, let me add to it. Do your job well. It should be understood. But do your job well. Just doing your job isn't good enough. But they're all getting coached up, and we've been talking about this. What are the 3 keys? About getting a resume, putting a resume together. If you don't make this team, I guarantee you, there's scouts in the building. They're watching your film. I mean, Ryan Lindley getting a start today.
Here's the kick. Jalen Saunders back to take it for the Patriots, and he'll take a knee. A beautiful night here in New England. Preseason football finale. Giants and the Patriots. Come right back. Time now for some tonight's trivia, brought to you by Bank of America, the official bank of the New England Patriots. A tough one. Name the 5 Giants assistant coaches from their Super Bowl 25 winning team who later became NFL head coaches. I think I know.
Well, I'm going to say, let me just go with Bill.
Yes.
As one, and then we're going to let it marinate a little bit. And you want my answer now, or you want... That was a teaser.
Yeah.
I got Bill. That's one.
I think that's the only one you're going to get, too.
No, I think I got another one.
Patriots ball, first and 10. Their own 20-yard line. Lindley fires it. Complete. Aaron Dobson with the reception. Goes out of bounds. Matt Chatham. What do you got for a trivia answer tonight? Anything?
Romeo, right? Rack? Romeo Cornell's on that staff now?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty good. And how about the other guy across the way from Belichick?
Oh, Tom Coughlin.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, that guy.
That's three. That's three. We need 2 more.
Former
Paul.
Virginia head coach.
Paul and Andy.
Al Groh?
There you go. One more.
Ray Hanley.
Wow, in unison. Thank you, gentlemen. Nicely done. A cappella.
Let's see if we're right. Let's see if
Garrett
we're
Blunt.
right.
Here you go. Let's see if you guys go 5 for 5. And as usual,
Drum roll.
We'll never know.
suspense. There you go. Name the 5 assistant Giant coaches from Super Bowl 25.
I am the winner.
Belichick, Cornell, Coughlin, Hanley, and Al Groh.
I don't know if you're the winner.
Yes.
Hey, today we're all winners,
yes.
all right? Today we're all winners.
Life is good. Everybody's happy around New England. Ryan Lindley calling a timeout. Let's take a look at this team photo from Super Bowl 25.
Take a walk down memory lane. Is that what we're
Look
doing?
back in history. The 1990 Giants.
All right, there's Rack. There's Romeo, right? Oh, okay, there you go.
Spot shadows.
Everybody's got a lot of hair. Not everybody.
The chops on Rack. Look at that.
I think we got our friend
Looking
Steve
good.
Piossi in there too, right? Member of that team. It's interesting. Bill Belichick tells a great story. When there was only 1 week in between the Super Bowl and the NFC Championship, they won in San Francisco on a Matt Barr field goal. And Belichick said, we flew together as a team. A great feeling going to the Super Bowl. They got to the team hotel in Tampa at 5 o'clock in the morning, and they were taking down everything that said, welcome San Francisco, your NFC champions.
That is fantastic.
Bill said nobody thought we would win.
That's fantastic.
Matt Barr with 5 field goals in that game. You know what's interesting? Steve Diossi said they tried to freeze him. That was the big time to freeze the kicker, so they call it just before the timeout. And Steve goes over to Matt Barr and says, hey, don't worry about it, Matt. Just do what you normally do. Matt Barr with cold steel eyes looks at Diossi and says, hey, you're the one that has to snap the ball.
That's true. And this was one you could just flat out beat up the center, by the way. Right. The long snapper. You could just ruin his day.
First and 10, Lindley. Ball falls just short of LeGarrette Blunt.
You did a little of that, Christian, did you not? You were a backup snapper for a while.
I tried it, Matt. As you can see, I wish I would have tried to perfect it. Note to any young kids out there that maybe they can't make the first team, or maybe they want to find a job for a long period of time. Get a football and start throwing it through your legs, and you will play for 15 years. And you know what? You won't have a bruise or a scratch to show for it.
Exactly. Completely spotless. They can't touch you now. Throw things diagonally through your legs.
Aaron Dobson and Reggie Wayne in the game for the Patriots, and Dobson's the recipient of the Lindley pass near the 40-yard line. He'll be close to a first down.
Yeah, here's Dobson right here, a little play-action pass, just going to run naked. And Dobson's one of those guys that, you know what, there's something there, and I think we can all see it. It just doesn't show up on a regular basis. I mean, he's big, he's strong, he's got good hands, but he's just got to know where to be at the right time. And also, he's got to stay healthy. Part of your ability to make a team is how healthy you can be. Can you grind out through those injuries? Can you be available? And he's been up and down so far in his short career so far with the Patriots.
Here's a good early test for this offense. 3rd down and 1. And Lindley throws. Has it to Reggie Wayne. Something Patriots fans will want to hear throughout this season.
This is a veteran move. Here's Reggie Wayne. He's caught over 1,000 passes, and I want you to watch at the very end. It's not on your screen right now, but Ryan Leach is going to throw this ball. He puts his hands up at the absolute last second. There it is right there. The defensive back has no idea the ball is going, can't make a play on the football. And listen, his play and his resume speaks for himself. If we can just get him up to speed on knowing where to line up and where Tom wants him, he can be a weapon for this team.
First and 10 on the 43. Lindley throws it behind DeRazio. Zach DeRazio, who's been in camp with them out of Akron, home of the Zips.
And there's an example of two guys who aren't on the same page. DeRazio runs out of the little out route, and Ryan Lindley thinks he's going to sit, so the ball gets thrown behind him, and it's an incomplete. Those guys, go ahead, Matt.
I was just saying, Christian, great point though on the sort of the veteran move there of Wayne putting the hands up late. All defensive backs, once you're out of phase, are coached to play those hands and never look back. By virtue of him putting those things up late, the guy didn't have a chance. Those little tricks that you get away with in the fourth preseason game lined up against the younger guy.
Second and 10, quick pass to Asante Cleveland, but he's swarmed and thrown down, where he'll set up a third down. You know, it's interesting, guys, too. Ryan Lindley, we talk about how the fourth game, it's tough in the preseason. You know, he said this is a game that I'm looking to put on my resume and show other teams around the NFL after a disappointing playoff loss and performance when he was with Arizona last year against Carolina. He's trying to fulfill that dream and keep that dream alive of staying in the NFL.
Yeah, he only played 3 games last year. If you remember that wild card game against the Carolina Panthers, he was 16 of 28 for 82 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. So, but kind of just thrown in there, kind of like he is today, but so far he's holding up.
The pass over the head of Reggie Wayne on third down.
Problem is the timing just isn't there with these two guys. It's, you know, Reggie Wayne runs a beautiful route. Ryan Lindley, not pressured too much, but has the ability to throw that ball in there and to complete it, but they're just off. The ball's either too far to the left or too far to the right. Other than that one nice throw on third down, struggling to find his timing and his rhythm.
It's too bad. Certainly an easy guy to root for as that ball goes into the end zone. We'll come back to the Giants on offense when we return as Lindley and the Pats offense stalls. There you have a look at the Super Bowl banners. 3 of them have already been unfurled, of course, here at Gillette Stadium. There's one to come as well.
There it is.
That'll be a week from tonight as they hold up a Judge Berman for President sign.
Big Rich.
And how about this as well, Christian? 2 guys that are extremely happy.
Oh, yeah.
Chairman and CEO Robert Kraft and President Jonathan Kraft, who said earlier today, by the way, that they would not have unfurled the Super Bowl banner next week if Tom Brady was not playing and not here.
And I think the team wanted that, and I definitely think the fans appreciate that was something they were thinking about. No Brady, no banner. But it's not going to matter at this point in time. He's going to be here Thursday night. They're going to show that thing off, and there's going to be 4 there, and this place is going to be jumping. It is going to be electric.
And you certainly respect that move by Jonathan Kraft, Christian. You know, again, this team, we've seen what this team has done. They win that Super Bowl 49. We know the story with Tom Brady. We know what's happened the last 8.5 months. Great to see if it had gone that far. I think luckily for everyone here in New England, everyone's happy it won't go that far.
Yeah, Matt would tell you luck had nothing to do with it. And I would agree with him because based on everything that's gone on and everything you've seen and heard and read, the Patriots and the right team and the right people won this situation.
That's the final play of the first quarter. Andre Williams with a rush. Well, thank goodness we won't talk. We got a flag first, though. The good thing I was going to say, we don't hear from Judge Judy Chatham too much tonight about the decision. You know, go to his website if you want and get that. We're going to talk football here as we continue.
Holding, number 85 offense. 10-yard penalty, still second down, and timeout at the end of the first quarter.
There you have it, the official end of the first quarter here. 3 more to come. Preseason finale. The Patriots and the Giants here from Gillette Stadium.
Patriots preseason football is brought to you by Gillette. Gillette One Pro Glide Refill. Up to 1 month of comfortable shaves. And by Pepsi. Add a 2-liter of Pepsi to your next Papagenos order and use your rewards card to win great prizes. Visit papagenos.com/tunnel for official rules.
Lineup check brought to you by Verizon. Come home to a better network. And Christian, certainly some names there. We've been talking a lot about all training camp. We'll take a look at that as we'll get back to it here after the play here. Giants with the football. Andre Williams with the run. It'll be third down.
Well, we talk about the quarterback depth chart, and Malcolm Butler's not practicing. Bradley Fletcher's not here, but Logan Ryan on the field. Robert McClain on the field. Normally not a great sign. Logan Ryan's been struggling most of camp, most of preseason. It gave him a lot of big big chunk yardage and, played a bunch of different positions. And McClain, maybe he's out there just to, try him at corner and to play the slot position to give him more reps.
On third down, a little dump.
But you're looking at this position, and we saw how important it was last year with Browner and Revis and McCourty and just what they were able to do. And now those guys are gone, and you still have Butler. You hope that he can carry on what he did in that Super Bowl. But there's a big chunking hole out there with a position that's left to be filled.
Let's bring in Paul Perillo and Andy Hart. Guys, does Logan Ryan make this team?
That's going to be a big question, Rochi. I think he does. I think that there's some promise there. I think he had a reasonably productive rookie year, and I thought he tailed off a little last year. But Christian's right. You're seeing some guys out there right now that are playing in this game that their roster spots aren't guaranteed. I think Logan Ryan is going to be here, but he's fighting for a job tonight.
Steve Weatherford with the punt. Jalen Saunders, acquired this week from New Orleans, gets nowhere on the return. Lindley in the offense coming out, trying to put some points on the board when we return. Time now for our Putnam Performance in Motion Player Spotlight, brought to you by Putnam Investments, pursuing performance excellence through new ways of thinking. Let's bounce there to Matt Chatham. And Matt, what are you thinking here tonight?
Well, I think it's an easy choice because of all the guys that are involved today. I think Aaron Dobson is a guy who has an opportunity both to compete, but that could win himself an actual role with the offense. He just needs to prove that consistency, as Christian touched on before. And a big part of that is availability. As Christian mentioned, that's the biggest part of your sort of ability portfolio, though. You got to be available. And I think when he is, you see the stress that Aaron Dobson puts on cornerbacks. We've seen that at the times he's got opportunities, but he just has to string plays together. That's why these fourth preseason games are so critical for guys like him. It's not a question of ability, it's a question of stringing them together, and this game gives him that opportunity to get the team a little bit of trust before the real bullets start flying.
Well, there's the resume from Aaron Dobson as the Patriots go back on offense. Jalen Saunders with the reception. But getting back to Dobson, Christian, you thought, he had that 40-yard reception last week, and he had the ball that got picked off. But you saw some good things route running from Aaron Dobson last week.
I think we all did, and when we talked about it once the game was over, there's something there with Dobson. And it kind of frustrates you a little bit because he has the skill. It just needs to show up on a regular basis. And I'm sure that's what the coaches think also. But again, you just can't have skill. You need to be healthy and stay on the field. And if you can't do that, no one's ever going to know how good you possibly can be.
Ryan Lindley was swarmed right up the middle of that Patriots line. It'll be third down.
A lot of pressure. You're going to see the pressure come up the middle right here. And Ryan Lilly, you got two crossing routes by the tight ends. They're going to kind of try and pick each other, but backer gets in, defensive lineman gets right in over Chris Martin. And Ryan Lilly really never had a chance to get this ball off.
Third and 16 for the Patriots. Going to run the football at James White. It's out near the 45-yard line, but it won't be enough, and the Patriots will punt.
All right, watch Shaq Mason right here. He is your left guard. Watch him pull and get on his horse and go and make it whole for this back right here. Watch him on the line. Bam, that is a big boy right there. Gets a nice smack on his linebacker.
Flag down on the punt before Allen could get it off.
Play because the officials weren't in position to officiate this particular play. Still fourth down.
Right. Come on, refs.
Now who's yelling at them?
I know.
So yell at them.
Snap by the offense.
Yeah, there's Joe. Come on, listen. You guys get your act together. This isn't. I know it's the last preseason game, but we got work to do.
They don't have backups, Christian. These are the guys.
Special teams coach Joe Judge all over the officials on that one.
Get some.
Replacing Scotty O'Brien here for the Patriots. Here's the Allen punt. Bounces right around the 10-yard line, just inside that. Where the Giants will take over on first down when we return. They continue to coach him up. Look at Gouge with the O-line. Patriots back out on defense here, trailing 3-0 to the Giants. Second quarter, preseason game number 4. Robert McClain out of UConn trying to win a spot on this roster. For more on that, let's get downstairs to Matt Chatham. Matt?
Yeah, McClain's an interesting guy, guys. We got to speak to him earlier in this preseason, and one of the values that Coach Belichick put on him was his versatility. You see shorter, stubbier guy, you think inside corner. He's playing outside today, getting some great work in the final game that can prepare him for the season.
Andre Williams Solid run on first down. Take a look at Robert McClain last year with Atlanta. Played in all 16 games, 6 starts, 2 picks, a sack. Has played inside and outside cornerback, 67 snaps at safety last year too. Versatility, word Matt Chatham just used, Christian. Bill Belichick loves to see that.
Yeah, you know, not sure if he's a starter or not, but competed for the nickelback in Atlanta, lost the job to Josh Wilson. Injured thrust him into a starting position at corner, but there's a lot of good value there with McClain, a good special teamer. But can he replace that Kyle Arrington role? He's a very versatile player in Atlanta, played just both right side and left side, played in the slot, played both right and left corner. 67 snaps at safety for the Falcons in 2014, so he has done everything.
I mean, you touched on it, Christian. He actually lined at gunner, so they're trying everything.
Yeah.
Gunner on the punt team, so they're trying him at every possible role. They need that one switchblade knife that they can sort of keep on the roster to do whatever they need on game day.
Williams got the first down here. Nassib on first down, nearly picked off by Tavon Wilson, who's also perhaps fighting with the job. Let's go to Andy Hart and Paul Perillo. Guys, Tavon Wilson is a name that's on the bubble perhaps along with Nate Ebner. What are you thinking there?
Yeah, I agree with you, Rochi, 100%. I think those two guys, given the addition of Jordan Richards, are special teamers with limited value on defense, haven't done a lot in their time here in New England. And you see Wilson there with a nice break on the ball. He had a nice tackle earlier where he showed some of that burst, come up and make a play. I think he has more value on defense than Nate Ebner. That might be what allows him to win a job and maybe, sends Ebner packing.
2nd and 10. James Jones on the reception.
There's a flag.
And we got a flag on the play for a little extracurricular activity from Robert McClain.
It's just so much. It's frustrating sometimes because I can see
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 22 defense, late hit out of bounds. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
You're fighting with these guys to try to get him to the ground, and as soon as you see that white line, he's just got to let him go. I mean, that's a rookie move right there. He's old enough to know better than to try and pull a guy down. Actually, after his body is going out of bounds, and he's not happy about it either. Hopefully, he makes up for it on the next couple plays.
What's the ball at the 41-yard line of New York? 10:15 left to go here in the first half. Glad to have you with us here on this wonderful night of football at Gillette Stadium as we're all celebrating that Tom Brady will be here next week as the starting quarterback of the Patriots. 1 week from tonight, they'll kick things off to start the 2015 regular season against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do you think any thoughts that maybe this place will be a little bit electric a week from tonight?
Maybe electric? Yeah, I think maybe probably one of the most anticipated opening games that I can remember. Yes, we've had plenty opening games after a Super Bowl, but this one I think is unique, just based on everything that's happened.
Wide open, Nassib fires the ball complete down the right sideline for Jeremy Davis, rookie out of UConn. And it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Giants on the 15-yard line of New England.
Yeah, that was Dak Swanson. He just falls down. And unfortunately, still gets credit for it, but you just got to keep your feet, and I'm sure looks like his feet kind of get tangled up a little bit. Dak Swanson's had a good camp. Had a good game last week also.
40 yards on the play. Giants run the football with Orleans Darkwa.
So all that, if you want to go back and, this whole drive continuing started with that Robert McClain roughing penalty on the running back, throwing him out of bounds. And the drive just keeps on going. And these are the type of plays in a preseason game like this. Yes, we're not using a crazy scheme. It's just basic football 101.
That lonely walk back to the sidelines from McClain. 2nd down and 7 for the Giants offense. Darkwa swarmed by Dixon and company. Just outside the 10-yard line, it'll be 3rd down.
Xavier Dixon did a nice job, rookie out of Alabama. He does a nice job just fighting off blocks. Here he is right here. He's just going to get hit by the tight end. He's going to get hit by the wide tight end. Here comes the tackle pulling around, and he just fights off the fullback, jumps over one of the guards, and still ends up making the play. That is just good want-to right there. That's fight right there by that young man.
3rd and 6 at the 11-yard line for New York. Trying to add to their lead. Nassib throws. Incomplete. Intended for Adrian Robinson.
Adrian Robinson right now. Jordan Rich is going to have this man. This is actually a beautiful throw. Back shoulder, just where you want it, but the tight end, Robinson, just can't hold on to it. Does a nice job. Richardson, great coverage, but you just can't defend that pass right there. I mean, NASA puts that right in the right spot, and yeah, you should clap because that should be a touchdown for the Giants. But the tight end just couldn't hold on to the football.
Chris Boswell in to attempt a 29-yard field goal. On its way, and it's good. Giants double up their lead. See if the Pats can get back. Bill Belichick and company return. The Giants lead the Patriots 6-0. Dan Roach along with Christian Fourier here in the booth and family. His son walked away. There's Kiki. The crazy one in the family takes after Dad.
Yeah, it's not hard to figure out which one takes after me, right? One runs away from the camera, the other one is just living it up. What's wrong with you? Come on.
There she is. Look at. She
she asked to be on TV, and then she finally gets her opportunity, and she's shy.
Yeah, last week it was the son. This week it's the daughter. I've seen her have like 7 Shirley Temples on a Sunday morning at the CBS.
And you know what? Just so you know, Dan Roach is the only person who eats a donut with a fork and a knife, and his nickname is the Donut Man.
Jalen Saunders, and we'll go 1st and 10. I try to count the calories. It just makes it better. So enjoy that. Kiki, come on in here. Yes. Wait, she's shy.
Yeah, Caleb, who just turned 14, he's, it just, there you go, right there.
Wow.
Begging to get on TV, begging to say hello to everybody. Say hello to all your friends and family.
Right. Yeah, that beautiful shot last week with Caleb in your arms, 10 years apart with Tom Brady celebrating Super Bowl championships. It's good stuff. What's interesting is James White in the game carries the ball on 1st down. I'd like to ask you guys, Matt Chatham and Christian, the last team to defend a Super Bowl championship was the New England Patriots, 2003, 2004. Both of you guys were on that football team. What do you remember about defending that title, and was it brought up by Bill as you guys started the season?
I remember there, as you walked into the building, there was a big plaque, and it had all the past Super Bowls and what their records were after they won the Super Bowl. And none of the last 3 Super Bowls after we won ours even made it to the playoffs. So it was a reminder of,
look. Number 98 defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Look at all these teams that went to the Super Bowl, including the Patriots, who, by the way, the very next year after they won their Super Bowl ended up 9-7. The Giants didn't make the playoffs. Nobody made the playoffs. So every morning when you walked in, the cafeteria was right there to your left, and you turned right, you went to your locker, you saw that plaque every single day, and it was a constant reminder that nothing is easy, that you have to work for it. Even though you won it the first time, doesn't mean it's just going to happen. And to me, Matt, that was one of the things that stood out to me.
It did, and it's a mixed message, and you sort of have to get the subtlety there because he's telling you, it's so hard to do it again, but you're also looking to your left and right. There's a lot of new faces on the team that aren't defending anything. It's their first time around. So all new, brand new season, but don't look back at the year prior.
James White on the carry.
And that's one of the things that Bill always talks about. This isn't anything they're going to take away from you. You're not a heavyweight fighter. You don't win the heavyweight championship, and then they don't take your belt away if you lose it.
Can you imagine if that was the situation, Christian?
They
come and take the rings.
No, they don't.
They don't do that
forever.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm sure there's some people that they'd want to get their rings back from, but no one in the building at the moment, Matt.
No defense. Lock it up. Keep it forever.
2nd down and 12 for the Patriots, and Ryan Lindley throws that incomplete, nearly picked off by the Giants, intended for Reggie Wayne.
I mean, again, this is you have Cleveland on a nice little under route, shallow cross right there, wide open. If he throws him the football, he'll catch it, he'll run for an extra 15 yards, but he decides to go to Wayne. Here's Cleveland. Watch him just kind of run underneath. Linebacker can't get him, and he just stops because the ball gets out there so quickly, and Reggie Wayne, he's open, but it's a misfire by the quarterback.
Jaron Hosley with a near pick for New York, 3rd and 12 on the 36-yard line with 6:40 left to go here in the first half. Lindley steps up. Throws complete. Aaron Dobson in the reception on the 40-yard line of New York. 24 yards in the reception. First down, Patriots.
Here's Dobson right here. Nice job right here, getting a release, working the outside, sticking his foot in the ground. And great, first of all, it starts off with protection. Great protection by the offensive line. Lindley's able to step up, bobbles it a little bit. Don't get credit for 2 catches there, catching the first time. But that is a nice little confidence booster for Dobson. Get going, get started, get some confidence in you and in the quarterback, and maybe he'll look your way again.
Perhaps he is. He's looking deep, and it is for Dobson, just off his fingertips. No go.
So the subtleness in this route, he's running a go route. And if he doesn't stop running, he fades it just enough to the outside to give himself enough room to work the separation. The ball's a little short, and he's running out of space at the back of the end zone. But he was open for a quick second right there. I think if Lindley would have thrown that ball a little bit sooner, he would have had a chance to catch it. But like I said, you catch one, coaches on the sideline are going to sit there and look at each other and say, listen, let's give it another shot. He did one play for us, let's give it to him again.
And I think we saw it on the play prior, guys. It's there. There's something special at the top of that route on that deep dig. Those first 2 strides he takes, he creates immediate separation. You just got to stay on the field. Do it consistently.
James White on the carry. So the question is, Matt, let's start with you, will Tom Brady have that trust if indeed Aaron Dobson is one of the options here at wide receiver?
Well, it's a good question, Rochi, because we just don't know, and it's been one of the realities of the situation that Tom's been dealing with throughout this preseason, not in relation to the off-the-field stuff, but just the rotating cast of receivers he's had to throw to. Aaron Dobson hasn't been available for maybe not any fault of his own. He's just dealing with that body, but he hasn't gotten to work in that rhythm with Tom. Could he be a part of the offense? It might take several weeks.
Andy Hart, what do you think of the whole dilemma?
I think the problem for Dobson is he's only going to get certain opportunities because there are established pass catchers on this offense. You have Brandon LaFell, you have Julian Edelman, you have Gronk, obviously. You even have Danny Amendola sort of in that circle of trust. So he needs to find that Jabbar Gaffney role where if they call on him once or twice a game on a 3rd down, a spread set, he needs to make the play. If he doesn't make the play, he's going to lose those opportunities. It's about maximizing opportunities. I don't think he's shown the ability to do that right now.
3 receptions, 37 yards for Dobson. 4th and 4 after the miss with Reggie Wayne for the Patriots on the 34. And they're going to go for it here. Lindley with a quick throw. Can't find Reggie Wayne, but we've got a flag on the play.
Same play that Reggie Wayne caught earlier in the game in the first quarter.
Holding. Number 28 defense, 5-yard penalty automatic. First down.
J-Ron Hosley with the infraction, and that gets the crowd going a little bit.
Hosley playing tight coverage right there. He's just bear hugging him.
Little tight.
That's just...
You cannot do that.
Hi.
Big Reggie Wayne fan. Yeah. Big Reggie Wayne fan right there. 1st and 10 on the 29-yard line of New York. Lindley hands it to White. Bounces off would-be tackler. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. James White, Dion Lewis. At 3rd down, who's going to replace Shane Vereen question?
Yeah, it's close because we haven't seen a lot of Dion Lewis, but we finally got to see him last week and the week before, and he showed up. He's not playing in this game, but James White is something special right now when he gets his hands on the football. There's Brian Dable, tight end coach, used to be the wide receiver coach, been an offensive coordinator. Calling the plays tonight for the New England Patriots. So all the backups are getting some reps. Josh McDaniels not there right now. Well, he's there, but passing the baton to Brian Dable. So he's getting the night off too. Yeah, he's a Julian Edelman. Talking to Edelman, it's like, so when you were rubbing all that mud on your body and all your Instagram pictures, what exactly were you thinking about?
Yeah, no play sheet for Josh McDaniels. We'll see what he calls here. Dayball. 3rd down and 11. Lindley steps up, has the receiver, complete to Blunt in the flat. He's going to get a first down.
There you go. Just, nothing downfield. Giants are playing deep coverage, and there's your back sitting right there. There's LeGarrette Blunt right there.
One of the best things you'll see here, guys, is a little chip block. It's so subtle, but it stops the rush just enough to give Ryan the space to deliver the ball. Little quick cut at the top of the route, gets the first down. Subtle things. See the vet doing the big deal. Needs that great work because we know he's going to miss a week. So when he gets back, he's fresh, ready to roll and tuned up.
Ball on the 18, 1st and 10. Nice drive put together here by the Patriots as Blunt gets the ball again and gets near the 15-yard line. Sets up a second down. Trying to get Blunt some work in, as Matt mentioned. He will miss the first game due to that suspension, so he's out here getting some carries, and a lot of high expectations for Blunt this season.
Oh, yeah, it's such a nifty runner for a guy that's 250 pounds and maybe even a little bit more, but one of those backs where you sit there, you have to be physical enough to stop him if he's running downhill, but agile enough to stay with him if he decides to juke you a little bit. And it's tough to take him down when you're in the open field, because if he changes his mind, doesn't want to run away from you, he's going to run right through you.
Second down. Not successful for the Patriots, as Lindley was grabbed and
third down.
Little misfire sets up a third down for New England, and 8 the 16-yard line as they try to put together and finish off this drive and get some points on the board.
So Dobson is all the way down at the bottom of your screen. Here's Dobson right there.
Lindley steps up, throws, incomplete. Sante Cleveland can't hold on. That'll be fourth down. What is he doing? Got a couple of Giants who took it the other way, thinking it might have been a fumble. No. Stephen Gostkowski will come on and attempt a field goal to cut it to that Giants lead. 34. He's used to making it from 55, 56. Career highs all preseason.
This is an extra point now.
Kick is on its way, and it's good. So the Patriots put together a nice little drive and cut into that Giants lead. 6-3. Minutes to go in the half. Well, a 14-play, 64-yard drive. 5 minutes and 13 seconds. Stephen Gostkowski with a 34-yard field goal. Ryan Lindley. And the Patriots offense cuts into that lead, 6-3. Jimmy Garoppolo next to Josh McDaniels. Garoppolo getting the night off. I think he's made the team.
Yeah, I think he's safe. I think he's safe. I mean, he had a good preseason. Just carrying over from what he did last year. But he's, taking the necessary steps. Thought we might see him this year. I think, although I'd like to see what he's capable of doing in the regular season, I think we're all happy that we're going to see number 12 in the center.
Kenneth Harper back and takes a knee. And the Giants will come out. 2 minutes and 43 seconds left to go here in the first half. You look at Jimmy Garoppolo and did a good job in the preseason for the Patriots in getting them down the field, getting points on the board, comebacking twice in the preseason. Do a nice job last week against the Panthers, 13-17.
Look at that completion percentage, 76%. You can call it preseason all you want, but there's a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL that played a lot of downs in the preseason that weren't as capable as he was.
Giants running the football here as they get going in the 2-minute offense. Orleans Darkwa with the carry. Matt Chadden, if you look at it too, I agree with Christian. You look around and watch a lot of these NFL preseason games. Yeah. No offense, but there's a lot of bad quarterbacks out there, and I think Garoppolo certainly held himself quite well here in this preseason.
Yeah, and I think it just shows how intelligent the decision was to go ahead and use a relatively high asset a year ago in the second round to get a guy like that. He went to a small school, so there's going to be a learning curve. But I think it was right to invest there because you can see how important the position is. It can be gone at any moment.
Rufus Johnson chased down Nassib. We got a flag down on the play as we approach the 2-minute warning. Get the call here from Pete Morelli.
Holding. Number 74 offense, 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
I tell you who's being a pest is Trey Flowers and Rufus Johnson. Both those guys are just being little gnats to these tackles and these guards. And they are just relentless.
Correction, the 2-minute warning.
We've got our 2-minute warning. A beautiful summer night here in New England where everyone is happy because of TB back. Stay with us for our Geico halftime report. Coming up, a Gillette makeover. We'll take a tour of some of the new, fun, different, beautiful things we're seeing here at Gillette Stadium as it gets a little makeover. Steve Burton will be hosting our halftime report with stats, highlights, and analysis. And speaking of beautiful, Steve Burton is right there in the middle of things.
Just hanging out with the people, Rochi. Just hanging out with the fans who are elated tonight that Tom Brady will be back in action. We'll be back with halftime. You got that right.
Okay, good looking. Nassib fires the ball complete. McClain on the coverage. James Jones, the receiver. The Giants move the clock here. Yeah, 2-minute drill.
Look at him. Look at big Steve Burton right there. Man of the people.
Hey, absolutely. Hanging out with the best fans in the world.
How's that club down there, Steve Burton? I mean, that is a field view right there. I mean, talk about how nice of a setup they have down there in the club.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful down here. There's no question about that. When Rob Kraft does something, he goes all out. He built a brand new section. We're going to show it to you at halftime. And these fans, boy, they can't get enough of it. Front row seats.
Steve,
right?
you think there will be a little bit of an excitement a week from tonight in that area and the entire stadium?
Danny, a week from tonight, this place is going to go absolutely ballistic, knowing that number 12 will be behind center. Right, guys?
Can we get a Brady cheer from them? Can you start a cheer?
Here we go.
Burton?
Oh, here we go. You know what? This can come back to haunt me, but I don't care. They want a Brady cheer. All right? So let's go. Brady, Brady, Brady. Brady, 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 Brady. You know, the irony about this is Brady's probably at home watching this game, and he's going to appreciate all these fans. I'll tell you that right now.
Yes, he will. Good job, Steve. I like it.
All right, you got it.
All right, Steve, now get 46,000 others going.
Yeah, now I want you to start the wave.
Yeah.
Go crowd surfing.
I'm about to wave you right out of the stadium. I'll tell you that now, Christopher.
All right, Patriots have the ball. First and 10 on their own 34-yard line. 1:22 to go. See if Lindley can pull a Jimmy Garoppolo and get more points on the board. First pass complete right there to Aaron Dobson into Giants territory.
Nice job by Dobson right here to the outside. Finding the zone. There it is right there. Having enough ability to not go too fast. Just settles right there. Doesn't run into the safety coming in to take his head off. Keeps the chains moving.
20 yards on the play. Another pass. Incomplete.
Yeah, that was a nice hookup right there by Ryan Lindley. Nice route by Reggie Wayne. He just can't hold on to the football. These two have been missing each other, just missing each other on multiple occasions. But here, Lindley finds the right tempo, the right rhythm, and hits him right to the outside, right where it should go so he can get out of bounds, but Wayne can't hold on to the football.
How much do you think Tom Brady will appreciate Reggie Wayne here?
Well, he'll appreciate him a lot as long as he knows what he's doing. And that takes some time. I don't care who you are, how many passes you've caught, or who you've caught him from.
Second down complete to Cleveland. Asante near the 20-yard line of New York, and the Patriots keep it moving with now about 40 to go in the half.
Yeah, that was a great catch right there because he had the opportunity to get his head knocked off by Brandon Merriweather, and he just keeps going. Here he goes again to the outside. You know, just real quickly, talk about Brady, talk about Wayne. There's the play that's called in the huddle, and there's the route that you're supposed to run, and then there's the way Brady wants you to run it based on circumstance, coverage, and personnel. That is a whole nother set of circumstances that you need to know about. And you've seen wide receivers come in here that are well respected, had a lot of years in the league, and have caught a lot of passes and scored a lot of touchdowns. But when they get here, they can't figure it out. They don't mesh well.
Second down for Lindley. Steps up in the pocket, throws, looking for Dobson. Can't find him in the end zone.
And again, that's a nice route by Dobson on a stop and go. And there's Brian Dable right there, tight ends coach, getting the opportunity to call the plays for Josh McDaniels. There you go. Always got to hide the play. A lot of lip readers in the NFL.
He learns well.
Yeah. I mean, if you could read his lips, would you know what route they were running?
Nope. Third down, 26 seconds. Yeah, he could be ordering his halftime meal. Patriots run the football. It's James White, still on his feet, still going. And he gets down inside or near the 10-yard line. Nice running by James White. Flag down on the play. Hold on as they sort this one out. It's a late flag, too. Coming from the back makes you think perhaps it's against the Giants.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 98 defense. After this for the goal, automatic first down.
I think you've seen enough of number 28 with the ball in his hands, catching the football or running it on first and down. Nice block right there by Shaq Mason again. But watch him just jumping around, making people miss, always moving forward. Great eyes, great vision. And this guy's fearless too. He's not afraid to just bury somebody if he gets the opportunity.
DeMontre Moore with the personal foul. First and goal for the Patriots on the 6. Lindley wrapped up and he goes down. George Selvey with a sack. 6 seconds now left.
Timeout, New England, third and final team timeout, a 30-second timeout.
Comes off the left side, right over here. Oh, actually beat the left tackle, Chris Martin, clean. Chris Martin was actually stepping down to help the guard, and by the time he realized he had to come back out and have the end on his own, it was too late. The fence was already open, and Ryan Lindley was on the ground.
Yeah, Lindley had no chance on that one.
And they're just going to let this, actually kick this field goal and get some Gatorade.
Another extra point, Christian.
Another extra point.
Yeah, 33 yards, which is the new distance for the extra point this year. One of the best in the business.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, you know, we can talk a lot about Adam Vinatieri. You always wondered, how could you replace a kicker like Adam Vinatieri with all the great things that he had done here? And they came pretty darn close.
Brian Allen will do the holding. Kick is on its way. Once again, good. 2 seconds left to go here. Joe Judge will gather his team around as the Patriot militia fires the guns.
Love that sound.
Scares me every time.
Oh yeah, you're right. Every single time, you know it's coming, Roach. You expect it. You anticipate it.
There's Steve Burton.
He's a man of the people.
Mayor Burton here in Foxborough will be with us here coming up just a few minutes, part of our Geico halftime report. Take a look at all the things going on here at Gillette Stadium, stats, highlights, analysis, and everything else. An ambassador of football, Steve Burton. Former great Northwestern quarterback. He'll take us through halftime as Bill Belichick has one half of football left to go here in this preseason, and he gets ready for a week from tonight against these Pittsburgh Steelers. Or the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Are we calling them the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Banged up Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, they are banged up. New defensive coordinator.
Little squib kick here by Gostkowski, and that will do it here in the first half. We have completed one half of play here in preseason game number 4. The Geico halftime report coming up. 6-6 our score. One half of the books.
Excited about the way our guys are competing out here tonight. You know, I think we're working hard. We've had a few too many penalties, but, you know, the competition's been good. We've played decent defense, and I got the ball moving a little bit here in the second quarter offensively, so I like the way these guys are going at it.
What are you looking for in the 4th preseason game?
Just that, you know, everybody out here competing, seeing who can, you know, who's going to continue to get better and make plays and improve, and, you know, see if the arrow's pointing up.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck to you.
All right, you got it. Thanks, Steve. Okay.
Congratulations. Bill Belichick, I guess. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. 1st and 10 for the Giants. They'll take possession here, starting the second half. Ryan Nassib still in a quarterback for the Giants as we begin second half play. Gonna run the football. Orleans Darkwa takes it for the Giants. And now some of the guys out there, Christian, we've talked about Trey Flowers had a good first half. Rufus Johnson as well. Now the guys, you know, fighting both Tavon Wilson, Nate Ebner out there for New England to start the second half too. Getting a good look at here, playing a lot of time, a lot of snaps here on the defense.
No, you heard him. You heard Bill say it. Whose arrow is pointing up? Now, some guys you would say, well, it's been pretty much a push. Some's pointing down, but there are some guys, like we've mentioned, Rufus Johnson, the guy that stood out so far. James Morris has been active. Robert McClain all of us had 2 costly penalties on a couple drives. I don't know if he hurt himself particularly, but definitely not something you want on film going into the last preseason game.
Darkwa with the carry there again. Tavon Wilson in on the stop. First down for the Giants. Just underway here in the second half. The pitch to Darkwa. Up by the 35. He's wrapped up by Logan Ryan and company. Matt, as far as you're concerned, did you ever have situations like this where you were thinking coming into a preseason game or coming here that, am I going to make the football team? What do I have to do to impress the coaches?
Yeah, absolutely, Rochi. There's sort of a roller coaster that you go on as a player. I think as a first-year player, you have no idea. Once you've made a couple rosters, you transition to that point where, wow, do I cost a little too much to sort of be worth what they're going to pay me to continue with the role I'm at? Then you get older and you think, wow, now I'm 31 years old and they can always find a 22-year-old to do it. So a lot of guys out here on the field, a lot of them from different sort of points of references.
Another carry by the Giants. What did you do in particular, Matt? I mean, you played on 3 Super Bowl champions. You were a special teams guy. What did you do to particularly impress coaches that you felt, allowed you to have that NFL career?
Well, for me, Rochi, a lot of it was showing that I could do a lot of different roles. I'm obviously with the incredible front row crew that we had with Mike Vrabel, Willie McGinnis, Teddy Bruschi, Ted Johnson, Roman Pfeiffer for some of those years. In these kind of games, I had to prove that I could play each of the 3-4 positions, and that's what you're seeing some of the guys out there today. Trey Flowers, we've seen actually bounce all around the end. He's played both ends. He's played inside. They want to see some versatility from the backup because when something goes down, you may have to play any number of positions, and for the 9 years I was out there, that was the gig. It was basically you're the next guy up. You have to be able to do a lot of different things to sort of validate your place in this team. Completion to Davis from Daxton Swanson. Are you impressed with what you've seen from Trey Flowers, Matt? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw that incredible rush he had and sack of Aaron Rodgers first off. What I like is he's a low player, which sounds a little odd. He's just not your average 6'5", 6'6" guy. More like a 6'2". He's got length. He plays low on the edge, and he has a knack. He knows when to sort of release pressure and make plays. And he's stout enough to actually go inside occasionally. So he's quite the prospect, and he's doing a nice job here by showing he can play a couple different spots. Nassib throws the ball incomplete to James Jones. You look at Trey Flowers, 17 sacks in 36 games over his final 3 seasons at Arkansas. Finished his career as the active SEC leader, tied for second nationally in total tackles for a loss with 47.5. So he has a nose for that football, Christian.
No, he does, and I think the Patriots, if you talk to most draft gurus, were amazed that he was available when he was, snatched him up and really give him a good look at a bunch of different positions to see what he can handle. And when you talk to Bill, when you talk to any of these coaches, really, you try and throw as much at them as possible. Throw as much at the wall, and you want to see what sticks. How much of the information can they retain? And then after they retain that, can they execute that information that they were just received? And quite honestly, some guys just can't figure it out. They may be athletically gifted, but mentally they just can't handle the volume of information. And the guys that can do both are the guys that will play in the league a long period of time.
One of 3 fourth-round draft picks by the Patriots this past draft. 101st overall out of Arkansas. Nassib pressured, gets away from that, throws, incomplete. On 3rd down, and Giants will be forced to punt.
I'm going to watch the pressure come off the edge here. And Ryan Nassib again gets flushed from the outside. And Rufus Johnson beats his man on the outside. He's supposed to also keep contained. Now there's a young guy, Rufus Johnson, that we've been highlighting a lot during the day. Has to keep the outside hand free, has to keep contained. Yeah, what they tell you, Christian, is if you're going to make that move, you got to get upfield immediately. Go inside, but then you got to pin. You got to get vertical. If you get pinned inside, then there's no edge, and you've not done your job.
Steve Weatherford with a punt. Jalen Saunders back to receive for New England at the 15-yard line. He gets swarmed and wrapped up and pushed out of bounds. A little bit of laughter there. Zach Tiasi amongst those in on the tackle. When we come back, Patriots go on offense, trying to take the lead. Well, as we've been talking all night long, a week from tonight, the Patriots open up their season against the Pittsburgh Steelers here at Gillette Stadium. But after that, they start September 20th in the AFC East at Buffalo. for their first game amongst the AFC East. And Christian, look at this. They're going to face some tough defensive linemen here. Patriots running game, Gray, Blunt, and company will have some big tests with some big guys.
And it shows how important the interior of our offensive line is. So far, we've seen Shaq Mason, David Andrews, and Trey Jackson. 3 rookies. Ryan Waddell just getting the test. But look at these guys. Leonard Williams, 6th overall pick to the New York Jets. Marcel Darius, he's playing for a new contract. He might miss the first game. And then you have Ndamukong Suh coming over from Detroit, and the Miami Dolphins are just salivating over Ndamukong Suh. They are loving it. And you also don't forget Cameron Wake. Now, why this is important, obviously, Tom Brady is a step up in the pocket quarterback. Doesn't want to run anywhere, but he wants to step up and he wants to throw the ball from there. And it's important, it's imperative that these guys are able to solidify their blocks and give him time to throw.
Here's Lindley throwing to Blunt on 2nd down. He's got a 1st down and more outside of the 30-yard line. Let's bring in Andy Hart and Paul Perillo. Andy, let's begin with you. Your thoughts on facing the beast of the East, and how much improved is the AFC East in your mind as the Patriots get set to try to win yet another AFC East title?
Well, certainly I think you can argue the strength of all 3 teams could be their defenses, could be their defensive fronts, as Christian just pointed out. And if they can win those battles in the trenches, and the old cliche is pressure Brady up the middle, get around his feet, and with all the questions we have about the offensive line, I'm assuming Brian Stork is your starting center. At guard, I have no idea at this point. Ryan Wendell getting his first action. Is he going to start one of those guard spots? Is Klein in the mix? The 2 rookies, are they in the mix? So I think when you start thinking about how they could upset the Patriots and make life tough on the Patriots, it's pressure up the middle and it's that weakness in your line.
Yeah, and you have some youth there. So, you know, Christian brought it up with the 2 rookies, Jackson and Mason. So you don't know exactly how that's going to unfold, and you don't know where Wendell is in terms of his rehab. He played a little bit tonight. That was a really good sign to knock off some rust. I would assume he'll be ready for next week. But you do have some concerns there with the inexperience in those interior spots.
Yeah, you're right. I think what you'd like to see is what we're seeing there in Solder and Vollmer. Tom Brady at least gets protected from the tackles, but Christian, you know, as you alluded to, those guys up front, that offensive line, is Stork healthy? Is he ready to go? Is Wendell, who had conditioning tonight here, just coming off the PUB list of practicing, is that middle interior good to go here?
Well, you'd like to hope so, but again, you haven't seen this entire offensive line. Remember last year, this team didn't really take off until the offensive line solidified itself as far as a starting offensive line. And when you talk about Stork, who finally came off being injured and kind of stayed in there, and Connolly, who ended up retiring, you still had your anchors in Vollmer and Solder. And on the other side is Josh McDaniels, who started calling plays that really complemented that offensive line, and Brady was getting rid of the football quickly.
Patriots go out on downs, and Ryan Allen is into punt. Preston Parker takes it near his own 10-yard line and has some running room. Down the right sideline, cuts to midfield. Flag goes down as he's hit and met just outside of the Giants' 40-yard line. It's returned by Preston Parker. 31 yards on the return. 53 on the punt as we wait and hear from Pete Morelli.
There are 2 fouls on the play during the return by the receiving team. Holding, number 94, that penalty will be declined. Illegal block in the back, number 35, that penalty will be accepted. Half the distance, 1st down, and timeout.
Couple of infractions, but the Giants will take over when we return. Patriots, Gents knotted at 6. Dave DeGuglielmo coaching up that offensive line. We talked about the importance of that offensive line going forward here. Patriots trying to find some depth on that O-line. Giants take over 1st and 10. Running the football. Kenneth Harper to the outside. And it's a pretty nice game. Logan Ryan in on the stop.
There's that cutback that's been really plaguing this team so far in the preseason. Trying to push it front side. So support looks like it should be Logan Ryan right there. And as you see him come downhill, he gets behind it. Now he's got to chase.
That's just a young player there, Xavier Dixon. A little nosy, as they call it. As a backside player, you can't step over a gap. You got to stay on the backside and be the cutback player.
1st and 10 of the 24. Nassib throws it up. Hit a little bit. Incomplete. Guys, let's start with Christian and you. Much of the talk of this offseason, you know, besides the Brady and all that we've gone through here, is is losing Rivas, losing Browner, losing Arrington. As you sit and watch things unfold now, as you get set for a week from tonight against Pittsburgh, how are those questions going to be answered? You see one of the guys that's up to answer is Malcolm Butler. And how long will it take? We saw it last year. They were 2-2. It took for a while for them to get together. Devin McCourty talks about this. What do you think the prospects are of this secondary and this defense?
Well, I think it's good. But I don't know if Matt Patricia or Bill Belichick, I don't think they even know what this is going to look like. They're still trying to figure it out. And starting with the Pittsburgh Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, that is a challenge. So they're going to be tested right away. No Le'Veon Bell. Marquise Pouncey is out. So that's going to be an issue also for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But we're going to see what they're made of. But again, what this defense is that usually doesn't, you don't really see it until the 4th or the 5th game. And that's when everyone kind of gets in the rhythm. And hey, listen, Robert McClain can do this. Bradley Fletcher is better when he does this and he's in the bump and run. And we don't make him, cover a real shifty guy.
3rd down and 8. Pass falls incomplete. Intended for Jeremy Davis. Dak Swanson on the coverage, and the Giants will be forced to punt. Matt Chatham, your thoughts on what we've seen on defense this preseason?
Well, Christian makes an interesting point, and I think it's something that rings true each and every year and really each and every game throughout the 16-game season. It's a matchup league. It just depends on who you're going week in, week out. You mentioned, the Steelers. That means Antonio Brown. You can be able to single him with anyone you have on this roster. Probably not. So it's a help week. But when they're down Martavius Bryant, when they're down some of the other players, you can mix and match. So it might be a week-to-week thing. They might be using different people, different personnel throughout the season.
Jalen Saunders trying to return the punt for New England. Gets it to about the 20-yard line where the Patriots will take over on offense again when we return.
Hey, we all put in a lot of work, fellas. Today, go out there and play free. Show what you can do today, fellas. Everybody watching. Play for your families tonight, fellas. Play for your families. Let's go. Hey, that's it. Just protect the ball. That's a good job. You got to protect the ball there. Good try. Hey, James! James!
Good running, James.
There you have our Bose pumped up sounds of the game. Bose, the official sound of the New England Patriots. 1st and 10 for the Pats, their own 21-yard line. 6:59 left to go here in the 3rd quarter in this preseason finale. Ryan Lindley looks and throws the ball complete to Zach DeRozio. And now they're saying out of bounds. Nice bid, though, as he came close.
Watch his feet, see if he can get 2, see if he can drag him. Nope. Just the left inside foot. Nice throw by Lindley. Just can't quite get that outside foot down. That's when you just got to commit to falling to the ground hard.
Also had a flag down on the play. Holding against the Patriots. DeRozio just couldn't come up with it. It'll be 1st and 20 on the New England 11-yard line. Lindley escapes pressure. Throws just shy of Mike Williams. It's interesting. A guy like Mike Williams, acquired from Detroit, tackle, tight end. Bill Belichick was talking a little bit about James Devlin, who Pats lost for the season last week. Said a good situational player will figure something out. Is Mike Williams possibly part of the solution here? Maybe the U-man trying to mix and match here and do some different things.
Well, I think a guy like Mike Williams, who was drafted as a tight end, but obviously does not have the body of a tight end because he's 6'5", 312 pounds.
Not tight.
But you know what? It's a typical Patriots project offensive lineman. And when you look at the tight ends that they have, okay, you have your Rob Gronkowski, your Scott Chandlers, your Asante Cleveland. The Who-man looks like he may have some new life with Devlin going down. But Michael Williams is an interesting. He's a project. Can he play tight end? Yes, he did it at Alabama, but he's got the body type of a left tackle, right tackle. Obviously, Nate Solder, former tight end at University of Colorado.
On the 3rd and long, Lindley escapes pressure. Incomplete on the pass intended for Saunders. And the Patriots will be forced to punt.
The one thing, if you're going from tight end to tackle, and there's Scott Chandler right there. Talk about, glad you're here in town. I mean, Scott Chandler's been a guy that's been terrorizing the New England Patriots for a long period of time. And then the big fella right there. Imagine one guy's 6'7", the other guy's 6'6".
Hard to believe Gronk hasn't played in a preseason game since 2011. Allen on the punt, flag on the play as Preston Parker steps out of bounds at about the 42-yard line.
During a return, holding, number 43, the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, first down, and timeout.
We'll take a break, talk more about this Patriots roster as they get set to open up a week from tonight here at Gillette Stadium. Back here inside Gillette Stadium, 1 week from tonight, this place will be electric as the Patriots begin their 2015 season against the Pittsburgh Steelers. You look at the Steelers, life without Dick LeBeau, new defensive faces, and can Big Ben repeat his outstanding 2014 season? Lots of question marks about the Steelers. What do you think of this Week 1 matchup?
Well, I mean, they're going to challenge him. Like I mentioned earlier, Center Pouncey is out for the season, so they're going to have to replace him. Martavius Bryant, the speedy wide receiver from the University of Clemson, he may miss a couple games. And then you have their number one back, Le'Veon Bell, is going to be missed. So they're going to be shorthanded offensively. So can Big Ben repeat the performance that he had last year, where he almost nearly averaged 30 points a game? It's going to be tough because Antonio Brown is going to have to pick up the slack. Defensively, no Dick LeBeau. Dick LeBeau has been roaming that sideline, which seems like since Mean Joe Green was playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, and a challenge because the secondary for the Pittsburgh Steelers is not as good as it's been. Not of your normal faces. No Troy Polamalu back there roaming as your strong safety. No Ryan Clark back there. So a big challenge. There's not a new faces and a lot of new challenges for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Giants continue to move the football, get it to the 50-yard line. Let's bring in Andy Hart and Paul Perillo. And guys, one thing we know for sure is the Steelers certainly play tough with Big Ben, but Tom Brady has certainly had a field day over the course of his career at times with that Steelers defense.
Yeah, even when the Steelers defense had those units that Christian talked about with Dick LeBeau, when the Steelers were at the top of the rankings, Tom Brady just ate them alive. And Rob Gronkowski, who doesn't Rob Gronkowski eat alive? But I remember the last time I think we were in Heinz Field, 3 touchdowns, and I just don't think the Steelers have an answer for that. It's going to be interesting to see how they try to match up. I just don't know if they have the personnel to do it. It's going to be interesting. I know they want to use a lot more speed, a lot more athleticism on defense. It's going to be sort of an interesting test for them. But really, I think both teams have offense and a lot of questions on defense. But I just don't see the Steelers being able to slow them down.
And it's a tough spot for the Steelers.
Absolutely.
It's going to be opening night, Brady, the banner, the emotion. They've been through that before. They were here when this place opened, Gillette Stadium, a decade ago, more than a decade ago now. And you're getting them at a good time personnel-wise. Le'Veon Bell might be on the cusp of being the best back in football in terms of pass catching and workhorse. You miss him. You obviously miss Bryant, the second receiver. So you're getting the Steelers in a great spot at a great time, much better than maybe later in the year.
And no question, you look at Bell and company, good fantasy football choices. Shows how
is that all you
go there eventually?
Let me just
Now
finish
you know
that
what he
sentence,
does in
gentlemen.
his free time.
Good fantasy football options. Yes, they are certainly electric. Matt Chatham, we've seen Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Cam Newton, 3 quarterbacks in this preseason. Your thoughts on facing a guy like Big Ben in Week 1?
Here's the key with Big Ben. Who's playing with Big Ben? And that Le'Veon Bell point from a moment ago that Andy made, I think, is really important because they were a much different team in the playoffs when Bell got nicked up. A lot of this offensive explosion they've had, nice play there by Logan Ryan. A lot of that offensive explosion they've had last season as things grew and they were able to get the ball to Antonio Brown in some of those explosive situations was because they had a run game. In those years when they didn't, prior to Bell, too much of a one-play show. And when Roethlisberger sits back and throws the ball 50 times, they're not as good of a team. So I think, as Andy mentioned, you get them at a great time. You get them when they're going to be a little more dependent on him dropping back and throwing it 40 times. Is that good for the Steelers? We will see.
Nice defense by Logan Ryan. 6 tackles, 2nd and 10 on the 42. I think Ben's a sleeper fantasy-wise, too, this season, Christian, for all you drafting out there.
I can also tell you, we had a play run out. Big back.
Last year, Ben had 32 touchdowns and only 9 picks and threw for 4,952 yards, a top 10 single-season accomplishment in NFL history.
And The one thing with Ben Roethlisberger, you look at the size of this guy. I mean, he is just tough to take down. And he has this uncanny ability just to avoid tackles. It's almost like he has eyes in the back of the head. One time you think you have him, next thing you know, he escapes, he slips the tackle, and he's throwing the football downfield. He's not going to run it like Cam Newton. He's not going to run it like Aaron Rodgers. He's going to sit back there, and if it's a scramble opportunity, he's just going to wait for guys to get open.
Third down opportunity for Nassib and the Giants in Patriots territory. Pass complete. Julian Talley. Logan Ryan in on the stop. Talley out of UMass.
Watch it right there. That's just a little pick play. Watch him uses his own man to pick Logan Ryan and get upfield, and Nassib does a nice job of slinging that thing right in there, allowing him to move the chains.
Christian, what is legal and what is not in that pick play? I personally still don't get it. He's clearly running the route to rub him off.
First and 10 on the 19.
Here's what's legal, Matt. As long as you don't get caught, it's legal.
There you go, buddy.
It's a fine line.
I thought the rule was.
It's a fine line. I tell you what, sometimes you get away with some crazy things, and next thing you know, you don't even touch somebody, and the ref thinks that it just looks bad, and he'll throw a flag on you.
Right.
Geno Grissom in on that stop for the Patriots. 1:48 left to go here in the third quarter. Second down and 8 on the New England 15-yard line. Knotted at 6 here in the preseason finale. Glad to have you with us here in this Thursday night of preseason football as we get set for what should be an outstanding night a week from tonight. Nassib again goes end zone. It's incomplete.
Good coverage right there by Tavon Wilson. I mean, the quarterback, Nassib, really had nowhere. Tavon Wilson's on the outside. Nice job right there. Just keeping a body on him right there. Just not allowing him. That was a back shoulder throw. The receiver tried to react and recover and try and get that ball as he threw it behind him. But Tavon Wilson, with a nice job with the hand in his chest, wasn't allowed to get back and catch that football.
Another third down opportunity here for New York. Nassib, time, rolling and running. He gets banged right at the 16-yard line hard by Logan Ryan.
He was going to try and get this first down no matter what. And good job by Ryan coming up the field and make this tackle.
Now, one of the things there Rufus Johnson needs to learn, I mean, we've been highlighting him all night. He's done a great job with his hands. He's done a great job of showing length on the edge and some explosiveness. But you have to kind of feel the chip back coming. The chip back's there in your neighborhood. Got to feel him. Got to keep that edge.
On with the 33-yard field goal attempt. Chris Boswell. It's up and it's good. 45 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Patriots trail by 3. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Gillette Stadium. Time now for our Pepsi close-up, and let's take a closer look at Aaron Dobson, wide receiver for the Patriots. 4 catches on the night, 56 yards. He's a guy who's always battling injuries, but he's having a nice night tonight. Question is, will he make the team? Don't you, Christian? Back up to you.
Good question, Steve. Don't forget Pepsi, the official soft drink of the New England Patriots. Let's throw it around with our roundtable. We're joined by Christian Fourier here in the booth, Matt Chatham down on the field, Paul Perillo and Andy Hart in our Bob's Discount Furniture Studios. Christian, we'll start with you. Does Aaron Dobson come Saturday, and then more importantly, come Pittsburgh, is he a member of the Patriots 53-man roster?
Well, I'm not going to answer that with a yes or no.
That's good.
I'm going to ride the fence on this one. I just haven't seen enough of Aaron Dobson. And like we've talked about the entire preseason, those opportunities come up, and once they're done, they're done. And this is your resume. This is what you've been shown. You've shown that you've shown glimpses of being a player that can deliver, but you've also shown that you're injury prone and you can't stay on the field. And the consistency just isn't there. So, last 2 seasons, 40 receptions, 4 touchdowns, but he was inactive for 11 games. Listen, I've said it a million times. There's the play that's called, and then there's what Tom Brady wants you to do. He can know where to line up, and he can know that he needs to run a dig route, but he needs to know exactly how Tom Brady wants him to run that route.
Garrett Blunt on the carry here for the Patriots as we near the end of the first quarter. Well, you look at also what they have, Edelman and, LaFell. You hope he comes back.
Well, you look at a guy like Chris Harper, who's really gotten better every single camp, every single practice, every single game. He showed up. He's proved that he can. I mean, he's not a starter yet, but he can contribute, and you can rely on him. And you talk to Bill, you talk to all the other coaches. They talk about guys that have some nicks and some cuts and some bruises, but they grind it out. That's one of the most important things.
James White on the carry for the final play of the third quarter. We'll see Steve Burton and our Patriots fifth quarter post-game show. Don't forget that coming up after this one. 1 quarter left. Patriots trail by 3 here in the preseason finale.
Patriots preseason football is brought to you by Gillette One Pro Glide Refill. Up to 1 month of comfortable shaves. And by Geico. Call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Pepsi. Add a 2-liter of Pepsi to your next Papagino's order and use your rewards card to win great prizes.
There's your story of the night. Tom Brady, number 12, is free. His suspension vacated by the man who many would like to see run for president, Judge Richard Berman.
Big Rich.
Out of New York.
Big Rich and the boys.
As Tom Brady will be the starting quarterback for the Patriots a week from tonight against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, Ryan Lindley at the helm, 3rd and 9 on their own 29-yard line to start the fourth quarter as a quick whistle blows.
Number 65 offense, 5-yard penalty remains 3rd down.
Chris Martin on the infraction, so the Patriots will do it again.
Getting a little jumpy out there, knowing it's 3rd down, know that the defensive end is pinning his ears back because he's got a lot of support on the back end. He's just going to get after the quarterback.
3rd and 14 now at the Patriots' 24-yard line. Lindley, who's gone the whole way, throws it complete. Zach DeRazio with the reception, the kid out of Akron. And they'll move the chains.
Nice job right there by DeRazio, coming back to the football.
But you talked about it earlier, Christian. You look at the Patriots wide receiver core. We talked about Dobson, but you've got Edelman, LaFell, Amendola, Reggie Wayne. There's your 4. Matthew Slater, special teams guru. And is there room for one more? That'll be the question mark as we go forward. I'd like to bring in Andy Hart and Paul Perillo. Guys, how do you look at that depth chart when it comes to the wide receiver position? James White on the reception. Andy and Paul, what do you think when it comes to the wide receivers?
I think they went to the lunch truck.
I think they fell asleep in the
somebody go in there and wake
studio.
them up.
Hey, Bob's Discount Furniture is comfortable.
Yes.
Matt Chatham, what do you think of the wide receiver core?
I think Aaron Dobson is too good of a player to let go at this point. I think you're right to pinpoint sort of the question if he's going to be. Oh, wait a second.
Continue on the reception to White. Electric play there. Go ahead, Matt.
No, you're right to question the consistency and the reliability, and I think that speaks more to role. I think that speaks more to, no, this guy's probably not in your top 4 group. But that said, Julian Edelman, Brandon LaFell haven't taken a snap of game action in this preseason. Aaron Dobson is playing right now, and although it's a work in progress, it's something. And I think he brings something to that group that collectively they don't have. He's the big, long guy. He can run the big, deep in cuts and stretch the field a little more than some. So I think it's worth a back-end spot, no doubt.
1st and 10 on the 38-yard line. And let's take a look again at that wide receiver depth chart as we are finally joined by Andy Hart and Paul Perillo. You guys okay?
Yeah, we've been here the whole time, Rochi. I evidently had some problems, but, I'm really with Christian on what Aaron Dobson has done so far. The lack of consistency is there. I think he is a lock to make the team, at least initially. I think, like Matt said, he has done some things. He has shown some signs of having potential, but Brandon LaFell's injury situation right now, to me, is too tenuous to cut ties with a guy like Dobson. Too much talent there to pull the plug at this point.
And you need a guy on the outside, a big body.
Yes.
And if LaFell isn't a full go, I think Dobson's the only guy that kind of replicates that role, that ability to go down the field and maybe fight for the football, despite what we saw last week. So in other situations, maybe he'd be on the way out, but I do think he's a lock to make the roster. I also think Reggie Wayne is an interesting guy right now. The money they gave him in a bonus would make him a lock for the roster, but he's playing late, and how long does it take for him to get acclimated to the system? And he's an interesting guy in this offense where he fits in.
I think one of the main things, you guys, just a question for everybody is just when you look at a role that Dobson's going to play, and you listen, he has all the intangibles, right? The size and the speed. Can you trust him? That is the question. Can you trust them? And if you don't, how short is your leash? I mean, how long are you going to allow him? How many opportunities are you going to give him? And for me right now, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but it's a short leash moving forward.
And then I think you look at Chris Harper and what he brings, you get him on the practice squad, and that leash may be short enough that somewhere during the season, Chris Harper takes over a role on the roster.
50-yard field goal attempt by Stephen Gostkowski. Ho-hum. It's good. We'll continue the discussion when we return. We are knotted at 9, coming down the stretch.
There he is, the greatest of all time.
Oh, he's not a goat?
No, he's not an actual goat. Rochelle.
Certainly a hero around here.
Listen, we've been talking about it. We've been waiting to really just unleash on just all the great things that have happened today, and you didn't want to really go into the season with this hanging over your head, and we didn't think we were going to hear anything about this till tomorrow, Friday. I feel we got an early Christmas present.
Every other NFL city, what's it all about the entire offseason? It's Kansas City, they'd be going crazy if they won a Super Bowl. We had none of that around here because of what happened. It's about time. Let loose, New England fans, and celebrate with hits like that on special teams. We'll come back and talk more about that. We continue on here in the fourth quarter of the preseason finale.
All right, let's continue our tour around the AFC East. Week 2, we got the Buffalo Bills, and week 11 we're having them home. Rex Ryan, he is packing a punch up there in Buffalo. They are excited about this Buffalo Bills team. Shady McCoy, is it going to be Shady McCoy? He got hurt. Fred Jackson out of the picture. And a lot of question marks about who was going to be the quarterback. We know they have a stout defense. Matt Castle was brought into the picture. E.J. Manuel, the first-round pick from a year ago. But it looks like it's going to be Tyrod Taylor, the quarterback from Virginia Tech, getting the nod. Rex Ryan said that he was in the lead from the very beginning. But I tell you what, out of all the teams in the AFC East, you think about the excitement that's up there in Buffalo. And they are looking at this Week 2 game in Buffalo. A lot of excitement, selling a lot of seats. Completely redoing downtown. People are jacked about this team. And you think about the last couple of years, finally had a winning season, although you look at what happened last year. Jimmy Garoppolo got the start for the Bills. 6-10, 6-10, 6-10. They have not been able to get over the hump. Is Rex Ryan the guy? Can that attitude, can that bravado make a difference up there in Buffalo?
Nice play by the Giants. Reception down the line for New York. Good job there by Jerome Cunningham. 33-yard reception against Tavon Wilson. Now let's bring in Andy Hart and Paul Perillo. And guys, we've seen what Rex Ryan's defense has done to Tom Brady when he was with the Jets. How big of an impact will that be? And it's never an easy place to go and play Buffalo at Buffalo, like Christian said early on in the season.
Certainly, and we know Rex Ryan brings energy to a team, especially early in his tenure. He has the horses on defense. He has the pass rush. They can get after the passer, get the sacks. I do think it's interesting that you're going to rely on McCoy, and he's banged up to start the year, and that was a surprising move, I think, for everybody to get rid of Fred Jackson. They've been a two-back kind of team for a while now, and that could hurt their offense in addition to the questions at quarterback.
Yeah, I was really surprised by the Jackson move, and I think he's the perfect kind of complementary back because he does so many things well. I know he's getting up there in age, but he's sort of a young 34 because, his career, he didn't rack up a lot of carries when he was younger, so I thought that was a surprising move. And on the other side, we know Ryan's defense is going to be aggressive. Yeah, I'm not sure he has the secondary that he's had in the past. It's certainly not the point. I love Gilmore. I think he's a good young cornerback, but I'm not sure he has the overall depth in the secondary that maybe he needs to play that kind of style, that reckless, blitzing, aggressive style that we know Rex Ryan wants to employ.
Matt Chaddow, what kind of trouble or fits do you think Rex Ryan and his defense will give Tom Brady up in Week 2?
Well, before I bounce over to the defense, I think it's important to note, guys, that Christian hits the nail on the head. They were on Tyrod Taylor's court from the beginning, but the bigger issue they may have is they've been nicked up a little at the wide receiver group. They've been really thin there throughout the preseason. Sammy Watkins, who they spent a huge asset on. Let's play here roll out. He's been banged up a little bit, and they've lost Robert Woods, the receiver that they used an asset on a couple years ago from USC. So it's a weapons issue. And then you mentioned earlier that Shady McCoy is down as well. So, yeah, no Fred Jackson. you can make the right quarterback decision, but if you're thin on those spots, it might have to be a defense-led group. So, as you mentioned, Rex is going to have to wreak havoc with that group because there's so much uncertainty on the other side of the ball.
So nothing's really changed for Rex Ryan.
Exactly.
So nothing's really changed. He may have changed addresses,
right?
But it looks like the script is going to remain the same.
Different house, same neighborhood. Yeah.
And he doesn't live for trying to beat Bill Belichick, does he? That's all he talks about constantly. Giants run the football on 1st and 10. And it's never an easy place to go up and play. And like you said, Christian, they'll be, ready to go, jacked and pumped, to use the Pete Carroll term.
Well, I mean, talking about building a new stadium, new ownership, there's just a new energy in the city. Now, I've been to Buffalo many times, and that city has been depressed for a while. And if you go into the city, you talk to people, local radio hosts, local people who live there, they'll tell you that a lot of the energy is because of Rex Ryan. Yeah. It's because of the attitude that he brings. Now, listen, it's only going to last so long. When he starts losing, the fans are going to go away with that. So,
Nassib with a completion to Harper, gets near the 20-yard line. Well, let's turn things around a little bit here, guys. Let's start with you, Christian, about the Patriots and everything that they've been through. We've seen Bill Belichick, the master of taking anything and saying it's us against them. With all that's going on in this offseason, yeah, you're defending a Super Bowl championship, but nobody's talked about that. It's been us against us and Tom Brady against the world here. How big of a factor will that play, attitude-wise, for this Patriots team?
You're never going to hear about it. You're never going to hear them say that. They're going to play with a chip on your shoulder, and I can tell you this team has a history going back to 2001 of finding the smallest, most insignificant thing to use. Beautiful play by Trey Flowers right there, to use as motivation.
A jump ball there created by Trey Flowers, just falls short.
Let me circle our boy Trey Flowers, give him some love. Here he is right here, 2-point stance. Now the play is going to start away, and it's a bootleg naked. Nice job with the patient. Gets up, shows some athleticism, almost puts his hands on the ball and gets the interception. But showing up on film.
I tell you, Trey Flowers has been the best, made the biggest impression on me tonight defensively for this Patriots football team. Chris Boswell in to attempt the field goal from 41 yards away to give the Giants the lead. And it is good. 3-point advantage for the Giants with 8:13 to go. We'll see if it holds. It's time now for the drive of the game, brought to you by the official truck of the New England Patriots, the Toyota Tundra. Tundra, quality that helps you build anything.
Yeah, Dobson got it started, and then James White with a lot of nifty moves, making people miss, making a possible negative play into something positive like he's been doing the entire preseason. Then Gostkowski drives home the field goal. Who said field goals aren't sexy?
A lot of them tonight. I never said it. 12-9 our score. The kids are excited. It's funny too. I always think of the kids. They don't know what the heck any of this stuff has meant. They're just excited that Tom Brady's back, football's back, and here we go.
They can wear their number 12 jersey with pride.
Yes. A lot of those, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more sold in the next week. Jalen Saunders returning the kickoff, and he's nailed at the 10-yard lines. Well, Christian, we are touring the AFC East, so where are we going next?
Well, let's head over down south where it's nice and sunny all year long. How about Ndamukong Suh? Now, they love this guy. I mean, he has just brought a different attitude to this team. And Ryan Tannehill signed a huge contract. Is he the real deal? And eventually, at some point in time, this team, along with Joe Philbin, who's been there for 4 seasons, they have to do better than 8-8. 8-8 last year, 8-8 the year before that, and 7-9 in 2012. They have to find a way to cross that bridge into the playoff territory. Seems like they have the quarterback. Looks like they have the defensive force that they were looking for, that everyone really was looking for. But will he be enough, or will they make the difference?
A little dump off pass to LeGarrette Blount as the Patriots and Ryan Lindley get going here. Matt Chatham, are the Dolphins for real?
Well, I think one of the interesting decisions of their offseason was to let Mike Wallace go to Minnesota. He was meant to be this big downfield threat and all that was going to change that Miami offense. They went another way, and Christian, help me with the name, Jay Ajayi? Am I correct there?
Yeah, running back out of Boise State.
He's kind of a sneaky good player where they may have found their explosive element, out of the backfield and really got rid of the inconsistent downfield players. So finding Ryan Tannehill extra options is really the charge before them this year. We know the defense will be stout, but their ability to move the football in some new ways with a new little approach, that's what it's going to be all about.
Well, it's certainly not raining on the parade here in Foxborough.
No.
Everyone's happy with number 12 back, and the beginning of Labor Day weekend is everything's good. Everything is awesome when you're part of a team.
Somebody get Matt an umbrella.
Yeah, you guys dry? You guys dry?
I just saw people scattering from the stadium, and I was like, is the game over?
Christian, pass me another cookie. Oh, Matt, sorry about that. Saunders has the football for the Patriots. Let's go inside Andy Hart and Paul Perillo. Guys, I know you're comfortable. Amongst the five of us, there's only Matt Chatham who's outside in the rain. Your thoughts on the Miami Dolphins in the AFC East?
Well, I'm very comfortable in the Bob's Discount Furniture Studios here, Rochi. But the Dolphins are a team. We talked about the Bills. They have the coach, but not the quarterback. I think the Dolphins may have the quarterback, but not the coach. I'm not a Philbin guy. They never seem to win that game that they need to win. And they can't get over the hump and get themselves into the postseason and get past mediocrity. I look at that as a comment on the head coach, and I don't think they'll go anywhere under Philbin.
And I love the front the Dolphins have. I mean, I love the addition of Sue, and I love Cameron Wake. I really, really like Cameron Wake a lot. I'm not sure the secondary, is going to complement that front. Although I do like some of the moves. Matt mentioned Ajay, the back out of Boise State. Devontae Parker, I think, is going to be a terrific addition to that offense. I think he's going to be a more well-rounded, accomplished receiver than Mike Wallace. I think Mike Wallace is a one-trick pony, and certainly that's not the kind of guy you want to go against the Patriots with. They'll take that away more often than not. But Parker, I think, is a good young receiver that Tannehill can use.
Speaking of good young receivers, nice play there by Chris Harper to hold on to that football as he gets a first down for the Patriots. Bill Belichick speaking highly of Harper with us earlier tonight, Christian.
Now, this is just a slant route, but I just like how really the defensive back was in the position to make this play and knock this ball down. He missed on it, but Harper kept his focus and was able to catch this ball and really fight for it and get the first down. And that's what you want to see. That's not an easy catch. That's not an ideal situation, but your quarterback expects you to catch that ball if he's able to put it on you.
Harper, another reception. Well, we talked about last year, Malcolm Butler, Brian Timms, names that emerged from the preseason. Chris Harper is a kid that has emerged from the preseason.
I mean, this is just a back shoulder throw, and you see it right there. Quarterback puts it up there high, and he's able, watch the athleticism, watch him jump up and pluck this ball out of the air, and he still keeps both feet in bounds.
You know, Christian and Dan, remember our conversation from earlier in the year with Coach Belichick, and he brought up Keenan McCardell? Harper really reminds me of him in that he doesn't get a ton of separation, but his body control and his ability to just make the play, even in tight spaces, is very similar. It's really early, but I'm just saying that little quality has really pushed him through this camp.
Bill Belichick telling us earlier today had a good camp, improved from the spring. Since camp has improved on a regular basis, showed good mental and physical toughness, productive player at Cal. Some guys come out with no production. He's come out with some production.
Yeah, and there's his resume right there. Leads the preseason, leads all receivers and receptions during the preseason. Undrafted out of college, decided to come out early.
There goes LeGarrette Blount down near the 20-yard line as the Patriots drive here in the rain with 4:24 to go, looking for either the tying field goal or a go-ahead score.
I love watching LeGarrette Blount run the football. Watch it. Looks like there's nothing there. Gets some nice blocks, but he just hits that accelerator, puts his head down, and you'd be crazy to try and take this guy on head. I'm watching the game right there. He's just slow, takes his time, nice eyes, patience, and then he just hits the accelerator, gets through the hole, and he's got the positive yardage.
And again, no LeGarrette Blount next week for the Patriots. He's got that one-game suspension, so I assume Jonas Gray will be the lead back for the Patriots on first down, and then we'll see with White, we'll see with Dion Lewis how they mix and match from there.
Jonas Gray, Brandon Bolden can also play that first down role. He's really an every down back, and the dude does a great job on special teams. But Jonas Gray, if he can have another game like he had against Indy, I mean, we could have a two-back situation going into the regular season.
Second down and 9 for the Patriots. 3.5 to go as they drive. Lindley has the ball knocked down, batted down, and it'll be third down. Just what we need right now is a Gostkowski field goal, Christian, to send us to OT in the 4th and final preseason game.
What are you trying to say, Rochi? That
Yeah.
you're trying to leave? I mean, what are you saying here? I mean, this is.
He wants touchdowns. That's all, Christian. Just
Yes.
touchdowns.
I mean, I expect to hear that from Matt, who's, I want to say, has a nice little towel on his head over there. Is that what you're trying to do on your chrome dome over there?
It's bald people MacGyverism. You got to come up with something, buddy. I think it's my play calling sheet.
3rd and 9 on the 22. Lindley looks in, batted up, and
Somebody caught that.
intercepted by the Giants.
Yeah.
Stevie
What?
Brown out of Michigan emerges from the pack with the football. Tough break for Lindley and company.
Well, the play was there, but obviously the rain started coming down, and here's right here, throws it through, just goes through his hands, and tip drill.
Giants get it.
And he came out in May and he said something very publicly that he thought was right for the NFL, and at the time felt it was the right thing to do relative to Tom, because getting Tom cleared was more important than anything else. Tom's earned that right, and we all believed that that would help Tom, and I think when it didn't, you heard strongly how we felt about it and a public apology to the fans for what had gone on. I would never say never to anything, but as we sit here today, it's not our intention, and we're really excited to get going with this season.
Yeah, he said it right there. I mean, you've heard a lot from the Kraft since this whole thing started, and you see Jonathan and Robert Kraft both being in step with each other, and I tell you what, I feel like they handled this thing perfectly. You know, they felt that they were doing the right thing, and it was time to really back one of their most important players in the history of this franchise. They did, and I think the fans really appreciated everything that Robert Kraft has done and has said.
Ricky Stanziani, quarterback for the Giants. I agree with you too, and, you know, especially when it looked like Robert Kraft, you know, kind of took the fall here, and it made me laugh when I heard Jerry Jones and other owners say, well, you know, we had to take our lumps and they should just take it. Well, the Patriots did. The Patriots lost a first-round draft pick, a fourth-round draft pick, and a $1 million fine.
If the same
and
thing
they
was
did
happening
get that
to these
punishment.
other owners, they would be fighting the same way. There's a time and a place for everything, and initially it was all about doing the right thing and making sure we stayed in line and take our medicine, whatever you want to say. But when it looked like it was turning and that things weren't being done right and people were trying to take advantage of the situation, God bless them for standing up and protecting one of their most important assets.
A lot of people were saying today that they should have, you know, perhaps they go after the commissioner. Nice stop there by the Patriots. Who else but the player of the night from our perspective, Trey Flowers, with the defensive stop. Most people saying there, Christian, maybe the Patriots should go even further, go harder, have to Goodell and say, no, nothing, get it off the books. Doesn't sound like the Patriots are, you know, let's just move on here, right?
Well, I think everybody needs a break right here. And watch Trey Flowers beat the tackle on this play, slip it, and then get that tackle for a loss. I mean, it's almost like there's so much that has happened since the beginning of since the Super Bowl ended. You almost have to go back and kind of reset your life and kind of take stock of exactly what happened, because the emotional roller coaster that everybody was on has been long, and it's been rough.
Well, guys, it's easy to see why things went down as they did. You stand here at Gillette Stadium and see the three banners hanging above. This is not a crew that quits. When they're right, and they're going to fight. And I think they did the right thing. I think there were a lot of bad advice donkeys out there that wanted the team to just settle and walk and Tom take medicine and all that. But right is right. They fought for what was right, and they came out on top. And I think that's very important. It's really the ethic that runs through this organization, not just Tom Brady.
3rd down and 12 for the Giants. We get a quick whistle here.
Game offense. After this Super Bowl, still 3rd down.
Exactly what we need is a delay of game in the rain. Right. 2:57 to go here.
I mean, this is what kind of party you want to go to, Rochi. You know, when you do go to parties, when you're not in bed at 8 o'clock.
Explain to me.
You seem like you would be that guy with the lampshade on his head, and you know, no, you're turning away from me.
3rd and 17 for the Giants. They're going to run the football, get it out to the 10-yard line, so the Patriots will have good field position, it looks like, as they try to win the fourth and final contest.
Now, I actually feel like you were the guy that when something did go wrong, you were probably the slowest, and you always got caught.
Yes. it definitely. No, honestly,
So for
Christian.
court?
Yes. If all of us went out, if the five of us on air here went out, and something a little bit went wrong, I'd be the guy that would get caught, and I couldn't tell a lie and everything else, and I'd end up in jail or whatever. I know it. Steve Weatherford in to do the punting. Time winds down here in the fourth and final game of the preseason. Got a good hold of that one. Jalen Saunders inside the 40. Cuts it up midfield a little bit more. The Patriots in good shape. The crowd into a 2 with 2 minutes left to go here in this contest. Guys, let's get some final thoughts from Paul Perillo and Andy Hart. Final thoughts of this preseason here. Any cuts, any surprises that you guys expect between now and Saturday when they get down to 53 and when we get ready for a week from tonight?
I'm not sure how surprising. I'm really interested in the secondary. Robert McLean is a guy that I think played a lot tonight. He showed some physicality, I think, at different times during the preseason, during training camp. Hit a big hit on Brian Tims early on. I think he's a guy that might be in trouble. I think they might need the depth, and they might want to hold on to him, but I'm not sure he's a lock, and I would have thought maybe 2 weeks ago that he was a lock, so that could be a surprise.
Yeah, I just think they're going to go full speed ahead into Saturday in practice. I'm not sure they're even going to be as active looking for talent, the waiver wire and the practice squad and everything. I think Bill is focused on Saturday prepping for the Steelers.
All right, gentlemen, thank you for everything you've done this preseason. We'll continue to read Patriots Weekly as we go along here and enjoy all of your coverage. 2-minute warning. We'll be right back. We love you, fellas. We do. We love you.
There's Matt Chatham ingenuity right there, making something out of nothing. You call him the MacGyver of the sideline reporters. The more you can do, the more you can do. He doesn't look too happy, though. Can we read some lips right there? Speaking of former Jets, there's Matt Chatham right there. Let's take a look at the Jets. Got a new coach. Todd Bowles comes over from Arizona. Defensive coordinator for 2 years. Brings his attitude into New York. How about going bowling? Todd Bowles becoming the new head coach. The Marshall Plan, new wide receivers, new attitude. How about jaw-dropping offense? No Geno Smith, at least for the time being. I bet you anything that was written by a Giant fan.
Second down, pass behind LeGarrette Blount.
Well, you think about the New York Jets is obviously defense, right? Todd Bowles is a defensive guy, just like Rex Ryan is, and it looks like the defense may stay the same. Brandon Marshall comes over, and hopefully he can help out with the receiving core.
Ryan Fitzpatrick's
now going to be the quarterback. We've kind of seen what he can do, and the ceiling's not too high for him. I wouldn't even call him a game manager. Usually it ends up ending bad for him.
Third down, give us to Blount. There he goes, 30, down near the 20, as the Patriots are in business with 1:45 left to go. 23-yard pickup for LeGarrette Blount.
It's fun down here, guys. This has that kind of Mass State playoff feel. The fans have made their way down to the field. They're making a lot of noise. They're into it. This is sort of the conclusion of that entire long training camp, finishing up the preseason. They're into it. They want to see a score.
They had a flag down. Say it's against the Giants. So it creates a first and goal on the 10-yard line for the Patriots.
It just got really loud.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty good. Here's Lindley, sends Cleveland in motion. Going to throw for Cleveland. Pickup of a couple. Get a timeout or time winding down here with a buck and a half left to go.
I mean, if they're trying to score, I mean, obviously you have LeGarrette Blount, and that is your go-to guy in the regular season, giving that big boy the ball down toward the red zone, letting him just hammer it home with that big offensive line. But I wouldn't be surprised if they gave Harper. I wouldn't be surprised if they gave Harper an opportunity. Off coverage right now.
Second down and goal. Lindley steps up, gets the ball swatted away, and that didn't turn out too well as the Giants recover.
That might be all she wrote now.
DeMontre Moore picks it up.
He's just, the defensive lineman gets free and watch as soon. Yeah, he doesn't even get an opportunity. Watch him hold on to that arm. That's a smart move right there. Don't even give him the opportunity to bring his other arm back into it.
98, is that Jesse Armstead?
DeMontre Moore with the nice play there, and looks like Nikita Whitlock on the fumble recovery. So that ends that. As the crowd got into it momentarily, Patriots just couldn't pull it off. He stands out to take a knee. Time winds down. Matt Chatham, a quick thought on looking ahead to the regular season.
Well, I think we've learned in the last several seasons that we don't know who this team is until mid to late October. They don't know themselves, so it's part of sort of controlling the situation as you grow throughout the month of September. I think there will be reasonably some offensive line woes. They have to figure out who they're going to be. I still think it's in the cards that potentially Ryan Wendell is your opening day starter at center. Brian Stork hasn't taken snaps, so there's going to be some uncertainty there. So I'm not certain they'll come out firing and scoring 30 to 35 points a game throughout September. It'll be a work in progress, and their goal is to build to something, as always.
Well, don't forget to stay with us for our Toyota post-game show coming up momentarily as the Patriots fall in this one 12-9 to the New York Giants to finish up their preseason at 2-2. We'll come back, chat a bit more, and look ahead to next Thursday night. Stay with us here in Foxborough.
Patriots preseason football is brought to you by CarMax. Visit CarMax.com today. And by Jostens. Jostens was honored to create this year's Super Bowl 49 championship ring for the New England Patriots.